Well, hello, everybody. As you guys know, I am attorney Michael Eline. I am an attorney licensed in California and Texas, and I primarily do personal injury law involving catastrophic motorcycle accidents and, big rig trucks and buses, slips and falls, that kind of stuff. But my passion is government accountability operations and holding the government accountable. And so I do this show sort of as a hobby for fun to try to educate people. And some of you know I became a lawyer with no undergrad and with no law degree. And so I became a lawyer in the traditional way that lawyers became lawyers until academia came along and started, cookie cuttering people. And then I believe using the educational industrial complex to brainwash people into supporting what I believe is the deep state or the administrative state instead of the Constitution. So I think that, let me just see the sidebar, what's going on over here. And since I've been doing this show, I picked up about, I don't know, almost 18,000 subscribers, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And the last couple of days I had a family emergency, and then we had the election. So I figured, what's the point of doing a show? Half my audience is going to be riveted to the TV screen. So I figured I'd give you guys a couple days break, and I would just spend more time homeschooling my kids, tutoring them, and as well keeping an eye on the news, obviously praying to God that my Second Amendment rights wouldn't get any more disrupted than they already have been under this nightmare administration that we've had for the last 4 years. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys are happy that at least we know the Second Amendment will be safe for at least another 4 years. Now, Scrubzilla says, stop voting for straw man. And I'm with you. What's the matter, you? I know probably more than half my audience, they hate Trump. The other half probably loves him. I am somebody who, since I'm a Second Amendment rights attorney and I do represent Dick Heller of Heller versus District of Columbia, I will tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt from my expert opinion as a lawyer that the Supreme Court justices that Trump put in place preserved our Second Amendment for at least a little bit of time. They carried on the tradition of Heller versus District of Columbia, and that really saved us. But I am a libertarian. I don't really support either political party, but I'm a recovering Democrat, and I've seen the Democrats become the party of the wealthy elite, the wealthy billionaires who want to push their P. Diddy parties and their Epstein Island parties. And yeah, they're all part of the same club to a degree. But again, what's the matter, you and Scrubzilla? The Second Amendment cases passed by the current Supreme Court that we have absolutely helped us dodge a bullet. And I'm just telling you that from my experience as a Second Amendment rights attorney. If we would have had Hillary Clinton's justices put in power, you wouldn't even be able to have an AR-15 by now. It would have been completely reversed. So I'm happy with those decisions. Now, whether or not Trump is somebody who personally would uphold the Second Amendment like these justices would, I do agree with you. Like, he's made some stupid choices, like the bump stock case. That was absurd, but that got reversed as well. And so I'm happy with that getting reversed, because I think everybody should be bump stocking any chance they can get. And yeah, at least we don't. And Just Willie says, at least there's no more camel toe. That's funny. Yeah, I'm with you, Scrubzilla. Again, I'm not a hardcore partisan guy. I'll take what I can get when it comes to the Second Amendment, because it is, at least if I have the ability to carry and have enough rounds in my magazine, I can keep my family safe. The police aren't going to be there to protect us. The police have no duty to protect you. Their job is to protect the government. And we saw that with the Rodney King case. So it was kind of pointless, again, for me to come on and do a bunch of shows when everybody's going to be watching the elections. But definitely the Second Amendment, at least from a legal jurisdictional point of view, dodged a bullet by her not getting in there. And, hopefully we can buy ourselves some more time. But I think we all know, just like our parents told us in Revelations, it's all going to come to an end at some point. And the deep state and the administrative state is going to end up with their digital currency and forcing us to put things into our body that could potentially harm us, and brainwashing kids using the public school system. I'm an advocate of homeschooling, homesteading, and growing your own food, and creating parallel systems so we don't have to rely on the systems that are in place now that are causing so much harm to our children in particular. And obviously, I'm super happy that she didn't get in for the reasons of this whole trans movement, where they're trying to convince little kindergartners that little boys that they're girls, little girls that they're boys. That's just absurd. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that that is absolutely absurd, and at least we'll get rid of that. I certainly don't want my children, my daughter, doing sports with boys when she's in a female league. And I certainly don't want perverted old men dressed as women using the women's restroom. That's going to end up putting me in prison for the rest of my life. For you real men who understand what I'm talking about, please give me a bunch of ones if you're on board with what I just said. And yeah, all the woke BS. And so, but I'm super glad you guys are all here. I got Scrubzilla, I got Age Go, Ghost Man, Copser 5150. How you doing, Copser 5150? And so tonight's show, it's going to be dedicated more to the cop watching theme, but I'm going to get into the 10th Amendment Foundation. I'm going to do a video of theirs as well, talking a little bit about government accountability and have a little bit of fun with rude cop watchers. So a lot of people think that, well, these guys like Chili or Long Island audits, they come off rude or whatever. And since they're rude, that means they don't have the right to film. And so I'm just going to lay it out there for you. They absolutely have the right to film. And you don't have to have a CNN credential, which is basically they're just a bunch of bought and paid for CNN, MSNBC, NPR. They're basically a propaganda branch of the Democrat Party. So you're not going to get any real news from those guys. I call it fake news. You can call it whatever you want. But the press is supposed to serve a watchdog role, a transparency role, and to be able to raise public awareness and hold governments accountable, public officials accountable. And they also are supposed to be able to provide a debate and critique forum and a preventative effect to educate people about what the government is doing wrong, as well as other people, not just government, but, rich people, whatever, to hold people to account. And there are defamation laws in place to hold them to account if they paint someone in a false light or they defame someone's person. But I'm a real proponent of a strong free press, and I don't believe that academic institutions should be deciding who can be in the press or not. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. I think we're all members of the press, and the number one enemy of freedom is out of control public officials, public servants. They become drunk with power because we know that absolute power corrupts absolutely. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree. And so I'm kind of waiting for people to join the channel and jump in with me. And let me see here what's going on. Right, the citizens of Athens. I don't know about that one, bro. I gotta find out more. But what I like about you guys is that even though like half my audience is on one side of the political spectrum and the other side is on the other, well, and then there's other guys like me who are kind of like libertarians. We just kind of want to be left alone, and we're more like the Amish. We'll take what we can get, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Whereas, modernly now, like if you're a Republican, Democrats hate your guts and they call you a misogynist, racist, homophobe, and there's no way you can have any kind of discourse with them. So it makes it really difficult. And with me, they just don't like me because they think that I'm too free of a thinker. They don't like free thinkers. They don't like people who think outside the box, right? But it used to be that was the norm, to think outside the box. And so I'm just more of a traditional American. So let me see here. I took some notes for you guys before we get the show moving. So does the press give the right for people to be rude in public or to public servants? And so, not per se, the Constitution doesn't say you have a right to be rude, but we're going to get into why being rude is a bad idea. Not just because, well, you guys see that I try to be as civil as possible to people. I make fun of politicians. Like I call Camel a camel something, and I called Tim Tampon Tim, but that was just for fun. Because, what man in his right mind would put tampon dispensers in a men's restroom, right? cuckoo. So just completely cuckoo. So yeah, I make fun of people like that. So that's another reason I'm glad those guys didn't get in. That was like something out of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that they were just completely like corny. Like, what are these guys talking about? So what the free press is designed to do is to give you the right to critique and question. And it includes the right to even challenge public officials. And you see that Chile De Castro does that, and so does Sean Reyes, the guy from Long Island Audits. Then I saw some videos of these kids. I can't find the video. I wish I would have been able to save it for you, but there's these kids who go out and film people, and they're real rude, and they try to get people upset, and people try to chase them down, run them over with their cars, and they get it on film. And then they say, "We're going to sue you. We're going to sue you." And I just scratch my head because I don't think they quite understand how that's going to work out when a jury sees that. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that from my experience as a lawyer. But typically, yeah, critiquing and questioning public officials in particular might involve in asking tough questions, uncomfortable questions, and reporting on controversial or negative aspects of the public servant's behavior or policies. And of course, we saw the lapdog media didn't do any of that with Harris or Waltz. I mean, it's just anything they said, they were just bowing down and worshiping them. And that really bothered me because even Fox News goes after Trump, right? Like everybody goes after that guy. So, you know, when you come from my background, always being, you know, the low man on the totem pole, it's like I'm always going to support the guy who's getting attacked, you know, because I was always smaller and getting picked on and bullied and stuff. So it's just like my natural propensity is to support the guy who's getting bullied. So that's just the natural thing. And I think most of the guys on my channel think that way too. Yeah, Scrubzilla, prank fails, right? Thanks, Scrubzilla. I'm gonna check some of those videos out in the next show. But yeah, those prank fails are really something, man. Like they try to pull pranks on people, and then people go after them, and then they threaten to sue the people they pranked. And we're going to get into that in a minute, but I'm going to talk to you about like why I don't think most of those guys have much of a chance in court. Now, obviously, you can engage in satire and commentary. Media outlets like Saturday Night Live or whatever use caricature and sharp commentary to make points about public figures. And biting satire, that's just normal, and that's pretty common in America. You know, in Europe, it's not, unfortunately. Like, you know, in Germany, they have like the crime of insult. I mean, could you imagine like a criminal charge of insulting? And now there's more people in Britain, in the UK, put in jail for insulting someone on social media, I think, than there are for like child molesters. Like they're just going after anyone. And of course, you know, over there, the government pays the BBC quite a bit of money, so they have de facto control over the narrative. And the politicians are total scumbags over there. Like these are the guys that hang out at Epstein Island, and they control the media narrative. And they've got the people in the UK, not all of them, but many of them, so brainwashed that they're going along with this jihadist invasion of their country. It's just unbelievable. And at least people in America realize that what this last administration does was treasonous to flood our country with illegal aliens. They were registering them to vote in Pennsylvania. It was all caught on tape. They have registered them to vote in California. And it's noteworthy that all of the states that went Democrat are all states that don't have voter ID laws. So obviously there's something to be said about voter ID and the unpopular ideas of the woke left. They're just not popular, especially with people like me who believe in having the right to keep and bear arms, being a Marine, somebody who supports my country, who salutes my flag, not as a symbol of America, but as a symbol of what it represented to me as a Marine and my fallen brothers and the traditions of the Corps. So for me, it really means something special. And so just a totally different mentality about that. I don't support communism. I support the constitutional republic. So naturally, I'm going to be trying to get Supreme Court justices on the bench who believe the same way. Give me a bunch of ones if you have a similar philosophy. Now, the press should engage with professional conduct. You know, they have the freedom to report and comment. Most reputable journalists, and it's true, they're going to adhere to certain ethical standards. And some of you I think that Reyes does adhere to pretty high ethical standards. So, I don't know what the deal is with him, but a lot of people hate him. And yeah, you're right, Comedy Flu. The left especially wants to abolish freedom of speech because it's their enemy. They can't force their woke ideas on people unless they can create a false sense of comedy, unless they can create a false sense of majority. So, when they had control of Twitter, they had control of 99.99% of everything. I mean, the left has always controlled the news media, the radio. Every once in a while, you'd get a Rush Limbaugh. Every once in a while, you'd get somebody who, on like UHF stations that was like Wally George, that was more conservative. But pretty much it's all just left wing, pro-communist, pro-Marxist stuff. The bureaucratic administrative state is like 99% Democrat. They give most of their donations to Democrats. But the people of America don't support wokeness, as evidenced by this last election. And so, yeah, I mean, we need to get more independent journalists out there so we can get like people like me who are independent, who are willing to say what they believe and even willing risk maybe losing a potential client because they don't like my political outlook of more freedom and less government. But, I'm not going to change the way I think. And my kids are always going to remember that their father stood up for freedom and liberty above all else. And give me a bunch of ones if you think that we need more people like me who are willing to risk everything in order to make America a safer and better place. Give me a bunch of ones if you think we should be deporting all of those illegal aliens. They should not be in our country. Many of them are criminals that were released from Venezuelan prisons. And we know they were brought up here for the sole purpose of two things: to be able to vote illegally in our elections, and number two, to change the electoral college by flooding swing states. So when the census data is changed, they'll be able to pick up, a bunch more electors. That's all that was, because the census counts illegal aliens. That's all that was. So the sooner we get them out of our country, the better. They can come in legally like other people, where they can take an oath, they can learn about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. And that's the way it should be. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. We should have a legal immigration system, not use tax dollars to invite people to come up here to help Democrats win elections. That's totally unfair. So give me a bunch of ones if you agree with that. I'm glad you like my glasses, Scrubzilla. These are actually, these are Razer. I don't know. Oh, you can't see it because they're green, but because I've got the green screen. But these are called Razers, and they're for gamers. And this is so I don't get the blue light thing, because I'm getting older. And the blue light from these computer screens will destroy your eyes, guys. So I recommend all of you guys either put the film across your laptop or your computer, the blue light film, or you buy some blue light glasses to block that blue light. It's really, really dangerous. It can cause major damage to your eyes, cause blindness. So thanks for pointing that out. By the way, nobody, Scrubzilla, no one's, I'm not sponsoring, or I'm not getting paid to tell people to buy blue light blocking glasses. I don't take any sponsor money from anybody. I make my money from super chats and then from selling copies of my book, which I'll show you guys right now. This is how, if you want to support my channel, either throw me a super chat or purchase a copy of My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. I take you on my journey of how I did it. But the book that I sell online is the digital copy, so it's $19.99. I'm in talks with a publishing house right now to try to get softcover books that I can sell via mail, but the cost of shipping and handling is going to be so cost prohibitive. I just don't see how I'm going to be able to bring it to market where you guys are going to want to buy them. Now, with the digital copy of my ebook, it's going to be a living ebook. So it is a living ebook. So as I make changes, you'll be able to see those changes on your copy, because it's done through Google Docs. So I can make changes and update it. But basically, I talk about the different states that offer law office study type programs, where poor people who don't have wealthy parents, or like single moms who just can't afford the time to go to a regular law school, can study under a judge or a lawyer and become an attorney. And that's the way that Kim Kardashian has been studying. But I think she's going to have some trouble because of the P. Diddy thing. So she probably will be delayed in that project. Probably most of those people that went to the P. Diddy parties are scrambling because they were hoping that Kamala would get in power and that any investigations would be covered up, because that was, they were all supporting Kamala, obviously for a reason, right? because all her friends were going to those parties. So that's the other problem I have with having the executive branch directing and controlling the Department of Justice. I mean, how ridiculous can that be, that the person in power can literally decide who gets prosecuted and who doesn't? I mean, look at how they went after Trump. They just dismissed all the cases against him because they knew he got elected. But had he not, they would have kept going after him and kept trying to put him in jail. They were all completely political persecutions. And honestly, most of the people on my channel that I spoke to said the only reason they're voting for Trump is because of the way that Biden and the Democrats went after him with these state George Soros run prosecutions, because it was obvious that those prosecutions were being done to prevent him from running for president or to try to poison people. But all it did was have the opposite effect. It made him into a martyr, and it got him elected by overwhelming popular vote majorities, which is unbelievable for a Republican. I mean, that's crazy, right, guys? Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that that's unprecedented, that a Republican would carry that much popular vote. I mean, black males in particular overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. I mean, go figure, right? Because a lot of them complain about being targeted. Thanks, Roger Lane. Holy crap. Roger Lane man, Roger, you didn't have to do that, brother. Roger Lane just hooked us up with 20 Michael Eline injury memberships. So that means that 20 people now get to wear a private first class chevron. Get to wear a private first class chevron because my members get Marine Corps rank. So I'm super stoked, man. I've got a bunch of new PFCs coming on board, and I have a bunch of cool videos in the back channel for you guys to watch too that I don't share with the public. But yeah, so the press is, it should be about focusing on public interest, but there should be legal boundaries with journalists. There should be, but if there aren't, there's other ways to deal with it. So we're going to talk about that. And then, perception versus intent. I mean, what one man sees as rude, another man won't. If you've ever been over to New York or Jersey, man, every other word out of their mouth is F you, right? It's totally different, where they're going to be more reserved in, parts like California, right? You're going to be more reserved in states like that, right? More, like not every other word is going to be a cuss word, and F you, like The Sopranos, right, guys? Give me a bunch of ones if you guys understand what I'm talking about, right? Like just culturally, what one man's rudeness is going to be another man's normality, right? So that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you about the press before I got too much into these reaction videos. But I'm going to show you guys a video, and I'll let you decide if it's rude or not. I got a bunch of different videos I'm going to share. Some of them are going to be like really tight and vertical. Other ones are going to be a little bit longer. But what's the matter, you? Thanks, dude. What's the matter? You says he thinks the chevrons are cool. And just so you know, they're not red and yellow, guys. Stop saying that. In the Marine Corps, we call it scarlet and gold. It's not red and yellow. So I got my scarlet and gold chevrons, PFC. And for the higher paying members, I have Lance Corporal chevrons that I'll be introducing. And that's for my secret level, where I start getting into stuff that I definitely could never share publicly, because we already know I've already been canceled once by the thought police, and I don't want to get canceled again. But before I start getting into the next video, I want to kick off my show with my standard invocations. I guess that's what they call it. So let's get started first with my what's up with the thought police video, and then we'll get into the thought police videos and rudeness, and whether or not rude people are capable, are allowed to be rude to cops, and if so, when they sue, are they going to get any money? That's going to be the discussion. So let's get this going, kicked off. To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Yeah, that's right. The most chevrons, the bigger, says Mike Wilbur. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to make it up to gunnery sergeant or higher, because I think that it will be too expensive for you to want to pay a membership fee. But I hope that the people who do buy memberships see that I do provide value. I mean, I do appreciate the super chats and all that stuff, the super stickers. That's super awesome, because it holds my wife at bay when I'm supposed to be taking my son to judo class. At least when she comes back and sees, I made $30-40, even if it's $1.99 or whatever, it kind of motivates her because it covers her gas. And I secretly think that she likes taking him to judo, you know, because he gets to look over at her and get that, you know, hey mom, look at me. But by the way, guys, we have a bunch of new black belts at the dojo. And so my son is the only yellow belt there. Everybody else is pretty much a black belt. And I think there's a few brown belts. So he's getting super awesome education by an Olympic judoka. So I'm super, super happy that he's getting that training. And hopefully he'll decide to be a Marine someday like his dad. Not that I want him to be a Marine for my ego's sake, but for him, because the brotherhood of the Marine Corps is unlike anything else you'll ever find. You know, you got your Delta guys, you got your Ranger guys. Those guys are badasses. Your SEALs, they're badasses. But the brotherhood of the Marine Corps is unlike anything you'll ever experience. We have the Marine Corps birthday coming up in a few days. And I've already been invited to go hang out at the Leathernecks bar in Nevada. So if anybody's going to be at the Leathernecks bar in Nevada for the Marine Corps birthday, come and join me. You know, I'll buy you a beer. I'll have a near beer because I'm not drinking, but you know, it's just so awesome. And the cool thing about Marines is because of that boot camp training, it's so unlike anything you'll ever experience in any of the other branches. You learn the history of the Marine Corps. You learn about Chesty Puller. You learn about Smedley Butler, the songs that we have. It's just such a prideful, amazing thing that, and everybody knows too, by our discipline, by our military bearing, you can spot a Marine out of all the other branches. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree with that you can tell Marines out of all the other branches just by their bearing and discipline. And you don't find that kind of bearing and discipline other than in the Army, for example, unless it's a high-speed unit like the Rangers. Those guys are legit dudes. Like, I got nothing negative to say about the Rangers and some of the combat arms units too in the Army. I have a lot of respect for, but to a man, the Marines, even if they're an admin, they still pull them out and force them to do the same PT as the infantry guys. And, you know, as much as, you know, they thought they were going to get out of it, but no, in the Marine Corps, you really are riflemen. And so it's an amazing experience. So that's why I chose the Marine chevrons for my channel subscriber members. So I hope you guys like it. All right. That's right, Jeff. Non-alcoholic. I'm going to do the non-alcoholic thing at the Marine Corps birthday. And that's coming up in a couple days, guys. So mark your calendars. If you want to join me, let me know in advance so I can try and get Ghost, the guy who runs it, to reserve a table for me. Super legit. Ghost, it was one of the presidents of the Marine Riders, which is a motorcycle riding club. And they backed up the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club when my father died, because remember, the economy was shut down. The government shut down all the memorial funeral ceremonies. So it was bikers that made it possible for me to have a going away ceremony for my father. So his Ghost from the Marine Riders, small world, right, guys? Ghost from the Marine Riders was part of that, the Marine Riders Motorcycle Riding Club. And they rode in second position behind the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club, the Mad Dog chapter, and a couple of other Leathernecks Motorcycle Club chapters. And now I'm working with the Peacemaker chapter out in Houston and Willis, Texas. And their vice president is a Navy SEAL. You guys have met him, Howard Doogie. And he's a Navy SEAL, but he was a combat corpsman with the Marines. And that's why he's allowed in. Combat corpsmen are allowed to be Leathernecks Motorcycle Club members because we consider all Navy corpsmen to be Marines. And any of you who have been in the Marines understand that. But yeah, I get pretty emotional when I think about it. You will not find any other organization that will do that. They just don't. You know, you call the Army recruiter, you call the Navy recruiter to ask him to do a ceremony for someone who passed away. Good luck. But as soon as you mention Marine, they're instantly standing at attention, calling everybody in their command, trying to find a way to get a bugler and to get their friends. If if the decedent didn't have any family, to do a send-off for that Marine, and you just will not find that anywhere. So that's why I'm hoping my son joins the Marine Corps. So when I'm gone, at least I know he'll have a brotherhood like I had when I was in dark places where I had people to call on, and like BZ Watchdog, for example. So anyways, let's get into this first video. Hopefully I've said enough nonsense, and we're going to talk about how to be rude to a cop, when not to be rude to a cop, and whether or not you can be rude to a cop, and whether or not it pays. Let's get into it.
Why? Because you send 3 units out for a guy with a sign on the side of a public road. 4 guys, 2, 3, 5 guys. So like the burger joint, 5 guys for 1 guy with a fucking sign.
You're not gonna be bothering people or anything like that.
I'll bother anyone I want if it's within the law. Why? Because you send 3 units out for a guy with a sign on the side of a public road. 4 guys, 2, 3, 5 guys. So like the burger joint, 5 guys for 1 guy with a sign.
You're not going to be bothering people or anything like that.
All right. So yeah, the guy comes off kind of rude, but he's pissed, right? Like they sent out 5 guys, 5 cops, because he's standing out on the road filming in public, and they're asking, oh, you're not going to be bothering it. Who cares if he's bothering someone? If he's not breaking the law, he has a right to do that. Now, here's the problem, and we're going to get into this a little bit more. If a jury doesn't like him, like if those cops beat him up and he gets falsely arrested, this is the problem that I have with so many auditors, right? Like, oh, I got arrested. I need you to help me sue. Call me right now. You have a case, and if you don't take my case, you suck as a lawyer. And they'll give me like negative reviews, and it's like, well, first of all, why would I want to represent somebody like that, right? No client control, psychopath, right? The other issue would be the jury's not going to like him if I don't like him. I win my cases. So guys, listen to me really closely. I just want you to understand something. I make my money. I make my money from the cases that I don't take. So listen one more time. I make my money from the cases that I don't take. Just like this show that I'm doing. Dude, this is a lot of work for me to put together this material, to be separated from my family to do this. So when guys like Roger Lane step up and help me out with a little bit of fundage, it freaking motivates me, man, to keep doing more of them. It's a lot of work. And the same token, if I get an unruly client who wants to tell me how to do my job, who thinks they know more than me, look, I've been practicing law for about 20 years. Before that, I was a paralegal for about almost 10 years. And, I just don't have time for it to listen to somebody who thinks they know more than me. And they might know more than me about some things. I'm not going to sit there and be an egomaniac and act like I know everything, but I certainly know how to litigate and try cases and how to work cases up. And I certainly know how to choose a client, because I know what a jury wants. I know what an insurance adjuster or a self-insured company or a self-insured city or county is looking for when they want to settle a case. You guys, I hope you understand this. Give me a bunch of ones if you understand, or you're tracking me right now, all right? Because I'm trying to be super nice, because I'm getting some real a-holes calling me, like basically trying to badmouth me because I won't take their worthless cases. Their case might be worth $1 million to them, but it's not worth $1 million to somebody who knows what cases are worth. And for me to have to deal with the headache of some psychopath client, it ain't worth it. And again, I primarily take accident cases. I do this show because I love the Constitution and because I care about you guys, like What's the Matter You and Forrest Goodwin, Mike Wilbur. I care about you guys because you guys just get bunk information from people, and you guys have shown an interest in wanting to learn. And the best way to learn is to teach. And so by me teaching you guys what I know, I learn more. I learn more from you when I do these shows, from sidebar comments and people calling me afterwards, like reaching out to BZ Watchdog and him putting you in touch with me, or guys like Rami. Then I learn from going to court. Then I learn from continuing legal education courses. I really do. So for me, it's really an awesome thing to be able to share my knowledge with you. But when people call me, like they demand that I return their call right away and all this stuff, when it's like, dude, I got a business to run, and if your case sucks, your case sucks. And I'm not you can't put lipstick on a pig. And so one of the ways your case is going to suck is if you're an a-hole to the cop. And even though you have every right to be an a-hole to the cop, right? Which I encourage you if that's what you want to do. But keep in mind, if you're going to get arrested and that's your goal because you think you're going to be able to sue, think twice, because people who come off rude like the 6 degrees of separation, like assume that everyone on the jury has a friend or a family member who's a cop, right? And so if you're obnoxious and a jerk to the cop, the jury's probably not going to award you any money. Look, jury nullification is still alive, and also other things are still alive too, like just being silent and saying that guy was a dick. I'm gonna find in his favor and award him $1, which I've seen happen a million freaking times, guys, where they'll find in favor of the plaintiff and they'll give him $1. And then when I poll the jury afterwards to a man or to a woman, they say, Well, the guy was a dick. He doesn't deserve any money. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You didn't like my client? So that's one of the ways I learned. You learn from experience. So hopefully you guys will not take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. If you go out there and you're going to get involved in the business of being a journalist, and you're going to get involved in the equally more dangerous job of government accountability operations, right? Filming police, filming public buildings, then be prepared for being arrested. And if you come off like a creep, good luck getting any money out of that. Now, hey, how you doing, Alo, Syrah, and Jeff? Yeah, Jeff says, and kind of think what you look like on the camera, because you're the one holding the camera. That's true, dude. And Forrest Goodwin, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, and Michael Wilbur says you can paint a donkey blue, but it's still an ass. Oh my gosh, that was good. Let me see what else. Jody Shiloh, thanks for joining me, Jody. I'm so glad you made it. And then Freighter Ilum, dig it. I love the name. It kind of reminds me of Illumina, like illuminate, to shine light on. Roger Lane, man, I really do appreciate you, bro. I mean, you have no idea. You're one of the only people who actually supports my show financially. A couple of people have bought books, which I really appreciate. And again, I'm not telling you guys you have to give me money or anything like that, but again, it takes a lot out of me to do these shows, and it takes a lot of family time from me. So just keep that in mind. You know, I'm doing this because it's a labor of love, but your love is also appreciated when it's reciprocated. So I'm going to get into this. This next one is a 5-minute clip, and it has the Sean Paul Reyes guy, and I just want you to watch it because I think that he is actually one of the nicer cop watchers. And I think that's why he gets the big bucks when he does sue. But let's just listen, and you guys tell me what you think.
Now, go ahead. Show it. It's my birthday. This is my gift. There you go. This is called cop watching. Okay. Public citizens go out and they record encounters with the police and the police with the public. Okay. They say their goal is to remind people of what proper policing looks like, but also to spot check the police, policing the police. My next guest is one of the most famous or infamous, depending on your perspective on what he's doing, cop watching star. His name is Sean Paul Reyes. He goes by Long Island Audit on YouTube. His videos, nearly 150 million views
I think
on
he's
YouTube
cool
and growing. It's good to have you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Chris. I appreciate you.
All right, so let's do the plus minus on this. What is the value, do you believe, in what you're doing?
So the main purpose of what I'm doing is to try and bring education to the people and law enforcement. So education on both sides.
Yeah.
Through me being an avid viewer of these type of interactions that have been posted online, now that I do them myself, I try and bridge the gap between law enforcement and the public, and to teach people about their constitutional rights, and to teach law enforcement. Now I have the privilege to teach law enforcement across the country on people's constitutional rights and how to de-escalate and have a positive encounter.
Cops sometimes do not like what you're doing.
Sometimes.
Let's talk about the bad reason for that and the good reason for that. First, the bad reason. Why do you believe that police don't like what you're doing? And do they have any color of authority to stop you from doing it?
So I believe that only a questionable officer would have an issue with what I'm doing. I'm only promoting transparency for we the people. I'm a big advocate for transparency and accountability within law enforcement. I'm not anti-cop. I'm anti-bad cop. I've made that clear since I started, but I think that they don't like it because they think I'm trying to catch them doing something they're not supposed to,
Yeah.
as opposed to just documenting in general. And they really have no authority. As long as you're in public and you are keeping a safe distance and you're not interfering with law enforcement and their duties, you have a constitutional right to film law enforcement while they're engaging in their official duties in public.
What do you make of the criticism that you're just trying to piss them off? You follow them around in public buildings when they're not even having encounters with the public just because you can, to be annoying?
Well, I would say to that is that I don't agitate the police officers. If I would invite anyone to watch my videos at Long Island Audit on YouTube and to see if I really agitate anyone, because that is not my goal. I think that my reputation speaks for itself as far as police departments across this country inviting me into their departments in order to train their officers and bridge the gap and collaborate with them in order to bridge that gap between the law enforcement and the public. So I think my work speaks for itself. I am simply peacefully exercising my constitutional rights, and I'm trying to teach everyone out there, the hundreds of millions of people who watch my videos, about their rights.
But you've been arrested before. We were just showing one of your videos where, like, you're asking this law enforcement officer something. He gets pissed off. He pushes the camera back. You're right in his face. Is there a little bit of what you're doing that is provocative on purpose? Because you're going to get more views if you get roughed up by the police.
Well, that is true. You would get more views if police go hands-on with you. But again, my work speaks for itself, Chris. I am not trying to agitate any law enforcement officers. That law enforcement officer in particular, Sergeant Brian Favre, the Connecticut State Police Department, agitated himself. He was not too pleased that I was recording outside of the Connecticut State Police headquarters. I would definitely not characterize as my cell phone was in his face. He approached me, not the other way around. And, he assaulted me in that instance. But again, that is not my intention to harass anyone. I would agree that, these kind of encounters, they do, more physical encounters get more views, but I let the officer deal with that. They're going to do what they want to do. I can't control another man's actions.
I am pro transparency. And I think that the more people see good policing, bad policing, I think it's good for good police officers. And I think they're overwhelmingly good. It's good to call out what is the bad apple so that people don't cast it on the general. I like what you're doing. I wish you good luck in doing it. It's a little dangerous what you're doing. Not everybody's going to see it the same way. And you're messing with the people who have the power. And, luckily you have a camera and hopefully it captures everything that happens. You may need it to help yourself as well as to help others. But thank you very much. People should check it out online.
Right. We the people, I was just going to
we
say
absolutely
that,
convey the power.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. So it's funny because, these commie news reporters, they're all in for the deep state administrative state. He just slipped again. Reyes caught him. It's we the people who have the power, and we pass that torch of power onto our public servants. And unwittingly, apparently, or maybe on purpose, many of us elect people who should not be in power. I mean, like, can you imagine this lady? I mean, she was all about censorship and shutting us down any chance that she got. They're so angry at Twitter for shedding light and exposing all the corruption. And I'm all about this new Elon Musk allegedly is going to have a position in the new administration to shut down some of these bureaucratic agencies. People like this jerk here on the left in the news media are terrified that the bureaucracy is going to get shut down because they're the primary beneficiaries of the bureaucracy. They get their press passes and all that stuff from guys like that. So they'll lose some of that power that we're supposed to be the people who have the power. They're going to lose some of that. And then, I'm totally stoked also. Give me a bunch of ones for RFK. It's about time we hold pharma accountable. Can you imagine if we're able to hold pharma accountable for the first time in generations, and not be silenced by platforms like Twitter anymore, so people can actually learn about pill-based medicine and they can learn about homeopathy and herbs and natural healing without risking having their channels shut down or censored. I mean, what an amazing day that is for health and fitness, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing some of that if it actually happens. Hopefully you guys are too. So here's another video that we're going to get into. By the way, give me a bunch of ones for Sean Paul Reyes. I really think that Long Island Audits does a great job. And I think that if people are offended or they have a problem with what he's doing, it's because they don't understand the nature of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and what makes America different than other countries. When you go outside, you do not have a reasonable expectation of privacy. You just don't when you're in public. Now, obviously, if you're in a public restroom, you do. But that's just basic, civility, right? But it's obviously also embedded into the law that people shouldn't follow you in the toilet with cameras. Just like I don't think men dressed as women should be in the girls' restroom, because that's going to end up putting me in prison for life if that happens and I'm with my daughter. So it's unfair to the fathers who are protective of their little girls to put them in a situation where now they have to deal with some pervert trying to get into the girls' room. So I think that's a real problem. Give me a bunch of ones if you guys agree with that. Rami, yes, Rami, good seeing you. And I know that Rami and Wassa and Scrubzilla are more politically aligned. And I think that's good because I don't want people on my show who are bootlickers. I don't want people on my show who are kissing my butt or just trying to get favor from me. I'm all about people having freedom to believe whatever the hell they want, as long as they don't insult the ladies. That's where I draw the line. And obviously, anybody with a wrench, I don't want you timing out other moderators who have wrenches. I give wrenches out to people because I love those people, and they're people that I hold in high regard on my channel. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Scrubzilla, if you're still here, bro, everybody give a bunch of ones to Scrubzilla. Scrubzilla is now officially a moderator on my channel because he deserved it. And I don't want people trying to time out Scrubzilla. So, and I think I made Rami's already won. And then if any of you guys have anyone you want to nominate as a moderator, let me know. The main idea behind moderators, honestly, for my channel is, besides keeping out low lifes who just repeat nonsense that we know is fake, is to make sure other moderators don't time out people who have a wrench. Because I found out the other day that they're allowed to do that, and I don't like that. So I just want everybody to give a bunch of ones for Scrubzilla because he's awesome and he's always been a loyal supporter of the channel. And I'm all about I really do believe in the big tent, but the big tent means that you support and will protect and defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that you believe in natural law. That's the one thing that I love about my viewers is you all believe in natural law. And like many of our founders, you don't agree on everything, but you agree on the key salient things that make America great and make America a cut above the other countries on this planet. So now let's get into another video where a lot of people on a jury might think that this auditor is rude. And even if this auditor was to win in court, might only get $1. So let's check it out and you tell me what you think.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Nothing. Were you called for me?
Yep.
For what?
That's Sean, I
Well,
believe.
we were just talking about how you were videotaping.
It's
Do you
working.
have your ID on you by chance?
Oh, I don't give anybody my ID unless I've committed a crime.
Okay, well, I'm coming in contact with you right now and I need to see your ID, okay?
But what is
They
it?
got your video, they want that video, erase it. There's
That's-
no reason for you to have
That's not
this.
going to happen.
This is the smart way a videographer refused to provide ID to the police while filming in public, being harassed by the police, and asked to stop. I added detailed links in the video description so you can easily learn the whole story.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Nothing. Were you called for me?
Yep.
For what?
Well, we were just talking about how you were videotaping.
Yeah, I'm just taking some pictures and video of the facility here. That's
Okay.
correct. Can I get your name and badge number, please?
Sure, Officer Johnson, 7108.
Thank you, Officer Johnson. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just taking some pictures and video. I tried to explain that to them. They didn't really want to hear anything. They weren't trying to be, cooperative with me. My name's Sean. I'm an independent journalist.
Okay,
Just
do you
working.
have your ID on you by chance?
Oh, I don't give anybody my ID unless I've committed a crime.
Okay, well, I'm coming in contact with you right now and I need to see your ID, okay? What a police
Did-
officer asked.
Wait, so just so you guys know, this was something that was used in California. Unfortunately, the leftists have controlled that state for so long, it was impossible to get a concealed carry permit until the justices that Trump put into power. And now you can actually get a concealed carry permit, but they would say it's only issued for good cause. And if you had any contact, you just heard her say, I'm coming into contact with you. If you had any contact with a law enforcement officer, the sheriff's department could use that as a basis to deny issuing you a concealed carry permit. So that's just another reason why you never want to give out your ID, because now you get entered into a database that you've had contact. And that could be used as a basis if, for example, if you get a Kamala in power and she puts justices on the Supreme Court that curtail the Second Amendment like Hillary wanted to, it'll probably go back to where you have to show a good cause in order to exercise your Second Amendment rights. And obviously, that's just another reason, anecdotally, you'd never want to give your ID to someone like this lady right here. Let's keep going.
Did I commit a crime?
Identification.
Can I get your name badge number 2, sir? You have a card for me? Perfect, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm just an independent journalist. Yeah, no, I don't give up ID just because you made contact with me. I have to have committed a crime, and then I will give you my ID. But I haven't committed any crimes here. Yeah.
You from here then, or just visiting?
Oh, I'm just in town, just working on a story. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yes,
What's going on?
I have no idea.
I believe TJ, Supervisor TJ. LJ. She told me TJ, so she lied to me.
Okay.
But LJ, apparently she called them, so she probably know what was going on better than I would, for sure.
Unless it's Teresa. Let me go find out.
Oh, maybe Teresa. Supervisor. She said she was a supervisor. But yeah, no, I'm just in town working on a.
But you see, like his voice, his demeanor, he's mellow. Like when I teach concealed carry classes, I teach the same thing. Don't cuss, don't swear, speak with a low tone. As soon as you swear, you're looked at as the aggressor by a potential jury or even witnesses. So just little things like that. Like, I think that he's doing a good job. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't talk to him at all. But the way he is talking to him, I think, is fair. You guys tell me in the sidebar what you think.
Story, sir. Nothing. Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Is this officer new to the department, or is this officer new to the department, or no? Ma'am, what makes you, just respectfully, what makes you think that just because I've come in contact with you, I have to give you what legal basis are you using?
We're just asking if you want to give us your name.
No, she specifically said I have to give her my ID because I came in contact with her. So I'm trying to find out what legal basis.
The post office gave us a call. They didn't know what you're doing here.
Yeah.
This is their property, right?
Yeah, this is federal property, public property.
But
Correct.
I was kind of curious what was going on.
Yeah.
They just had asked you your name, so.
Yeah, no one would give me theirs. This is the same way that you guys gave me your name. That's why I gave you my name, like mutual respect. When you don't give me your name, if you would have said I'm not giving you my name, I wouldn't have given you my name either. But you gave me your name, so I gave you my name, Sean. I'm an independent journalist. I'm working on a story, but just there's no there's no legal basis for me to.
They're
give
now
my
the
ID,
story,
unless you think that I committed a crime or I'm about to or anything. Just so you know, because that can get you into some trouble down the line.
100%. I agree with
I'm
Sean.
just saying, if you force somebody to give it to you, that's basically it.
So was it SP?
SP. Yeah, I told the officers my name.
Okay. Well, this is the deal. We just need you to leave off the premises. I need you to. If
What
you don't
authority?
have business-
What authority do you have to remove me from the?
My clerks are very uncomfortable right now.
What law is that?
What is
They
it?
got your video. They want that video. Erase it.
That's-
There's no reason for you to have.
That's not going to happen. I didn't go in there.
There's no reason for you
Yeah,
to
but I
have-
didn't go in there
Those are
specifically.
mothers and grandmothers.
But what does
okay?
that have to? I didn't go in there to intentionally record anyone. I'm recording in the
When
area.
you have your phone like, okay, then let me
Ma'am,
do
calm
this.
down, calm down.
Let me do
Psychopath.
this.
You can take a picture with me all you want. I'm not uncomfortable at all.
Okay, I will.
They're just very uncomfortable.
I will move on. Okay.
Could we go back here for a second?
There's cameras all over the building.
Okay, so she just wants you to.
Yeah, no, but I have business here. If you want to, I have business here. It's a public building.
He's right. And they're not federal officers. So I'd like to
Wow.
see the delegation of
That
authority that
escalated
gives them the right
quickly.
to enforce law on the federal property.
All right, Sean, right?
Mhm.
So they're gonna let you stay here, okay?
Gonna let
But you can't be bothering the employees, okay? But you can still be doing what you're doing, and when they close at 5, you have to leave, okay?
Okay, two things. No one's letting me do anything. Number two, of course, I'm not going to stay in the building after they're closed. But no one's letting me do anything. She obviously wanted me to leave, but she has no legal basis for me to leave.
It's a public building open to the public. I have a right to be here.
Which is
Just wanted
wild.
to clarify that. Officer Selvig, thank you, sir.
5 o'clock, we're gonna go, man.
Take care, Officer Selvig. You have a good one.
So, you kind of get the idea. So that was just, it's a really long video. I don't want to like waste the whole day playing it. So that's an example, in my opinion, that he was actually very nice and kind and considerate, but he also held his ground and wouldn't back down. And so some people might consider that to be rude. Now, if I was on the jury and I had the proper jury instructions that he didn't violate any laws and the cops roughed him up, I would find it favor. I would award the maximum amount of money damages as a juror to him if they did that. So let's get into the next video. I'm just telling you from my perspective, if I was on a jury and also being a lawyer and a litigator, how I would handle it. What do I think a jury's looking for? I think that he would be a good client to represent. I think that he would come off like a squared away, decent client, and I would probably want to represent somebody like him. And that's why I show his videos a lot, because I want to show you, like, I don't want you to just like win your case. I want you to get paid. And if you come off like a dickhead, you're not going to get paid, guys. I'm just being honest with you. You won't make the maximum dollar amount if you come off like a creep. Let's go into the next one. For some reason, it's always the female cops that I can't quite figure it out, but let's just watch it and you guys tell me what you think.
What's your name?
No, what's your name? I'll ask the questions around here.
No,
We haven't committed a crime. We're on public property. Rojas. Okay, Rojas.
What's going on? What are you guys doing?
We're on public property,
No,
and
this isn't public. This isn't public.
yes, it is. This is public
They're having
property.
a public meeting, correct?
Do you see a sign that says private property? This is anybody can harassing. No, he came up to us. We were just standing on the sidewalk talking amongst
I
ourselves.
agree with you.
Right in
What's the matter,
South
you?
Holland, Illinois, the police department can't seem to distinguish between public and private property. This video was filmed at City.
Yeah, and so let me clarify really quick before we get too far into this. So, Just Willie, what's the matter, you? Yeah, shouldn't we be allowed to be dickheads? Absolutely, absolutely. But the problem is when you have a jury, like federal, I think it'd be like 7, and most states are going to be 12. They're going to be looking at you as a person, and if they think you're a jerk, they're not going to award you as much money as you could have gotten if you came off like a nice person. I'm just telling you, that's just how it is in real life. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you guys how to run your business or, how to be an auditor. I'm just telling you, if you're looking to get paid, if you want to sway a jury, civility goes a long way. Just like the old comment, sugar gets you more than salt. I'm all for people. I want people to go out and test the system. I'm protest for testing, Latin for testing. I am for testing and holding the government accountable. That's who I am. And again, I was beat up by a cop over a parking ticket, and I called him an a-hole and every nasty word under the sun. And I'm sure I would have gotten a lot more money if I would have been nicer and the witnesses had nicer things to say about me. But I still got like almost 30 grand, and that was back in like 96. So that'd be equivalent to what, like 80 to 100 grand now. So I'm not saying that you won't get paid, but you'll definitely get more if you come off as a nice person. And I think that's one of the reasons why Reyes does get paid the big bucks when he does sue. I mean, from what I understand, he's gotten some of the biggest verdicts and settlements of any of the First Amendment auditors. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, good to see you, BZ Watchdog. BZ's getting paid. So BZ just got in an altercation a couple days ago, and I'm not at liberty to talk about what I'm discussing with him, but suffice it to say, him being a fellow Marine, I'm obligated to look after him and help him the best that I can. And so give me a bunch of ones for BZ. Make sure to like and subscribe to BZ Watchdog's channel as well. Please, if you can. And again, Just Willie, what's the matter, you? All you guys understand that I'm all about you guys coming off it is hardcore and aggressive as you can within the law. But if you're trying to get paid, I'm just showing you the difference. Yes, you have the right to be rude, but are you going to be able to sway a jury? And so I think we have to find a balance, because it's going to be hard to find a lawyer to represent you as well if you come off like a creep. That's why a lot of auditors never are able to hire lawyers. But let's get back into this video.
Hall, featuring none other than Super Mayor Tiffany Henry, whose recent corruption allegations have only added to the confusion. You can find more details through the links in the description. If you enjoy this video, drop a number 5 in the comments.
Last night, Dane?
Yeah, politicians don't always like to hear from the public, let's be honest, but under the law, you do have a right to speak at part of any public meeting, which is why what happened last night in Thornton Township has some residents there outraged.
When I arrived, there was security here. He was standing at the bottom of the stairs, preventing anybody from going up to the boardroom. I asked him if the meeting was downstairs. He replied yes.
Stephanie Wiedemann was among a handful of Thornton Township residents who came to last night's board meeting to speak their mind to controversial Supervisor Tiffany Henyard during the public comment section of that board meeting, which is required by law. But they never got that chance. They say they were blocked from going to the boardroom and sent to the basement instead, where they were told the meeting would be held. It wasn't. Before they knew what had happened, the meeting upstairs in the boardroom was over in a matter of 4 minutes. And
They kind of pulled a similar thing when we were all trying to go and show our support for Chili DeCastro. They put a podium outside the courtroom and they made it look like his case hadn't been called yet. And it was a total joke. But anyways, just to give you an idea, looks like this DEI hire mayor thought she'd send everybody to the basement.
Henyard was gone. They say they were hoodwinked and their right to speak violated because Henyard didn't want to hear what they had to say.
They were purposely keeping the public away so that if they did invite us up, time for public comment had already passed.
They are violating our rights. I pay taxes here. I have a right to get up and speak, whether this administration likes it or not.
Now, they are going to file a complaint with the Illinois Attorney General's office under the Open Meetings Act. We reached out to Henyard late this afternoon, have still not heard back. And also shut out of that meeting last night, a local reporter who was just there to hear what the board had to say. We'll have his story coming up at 5. Live downtown, Dane Placco, Fox 32, Chicago.
Who's this guy?
Okay, here we go.
Blocking in Team Tiff?
Is that the chief of police?
Chief of police pulls up, looks like a POV.
Hello.
Hello.
You guys township employees?
All
You
up.
have to leave our premises. Whatever meeting is going on is at that door.
What are you talking about? This is public
I'm on the
access.
buildings and grounds. You cannot be here.
Why? This is public access.
Pardon me?
This is public access.
It's not. This is not public access. You cannot be
Is there a
here.
sign?
I'm asking you.
Is
to
there a
leave.
sign?
Listen. I'm not going to argue.
This is a sidewalk.
Sir, I'm asking you to leave.
So you're not telling us to leave. You're asking
I'm
us.
asking
Yeah, you're
you
asking
to
us.
leave.
Okay, but we're not doing
Please.
anything wrong.
You're not doing anything right either.
What are you talking about?
Sir,
The
sir,
First Amendment is
sir,
a right.
Sir.
You've asked us to
Are
leave.
you a township resident?
Irrelevant.
Yes or no?
The
Are you
questions
a
around here.
Hold on, wait.
Are
Sir,
you on Team Tiff
I'm
or are you
asking
against Team
you
Tiff?
to leave
I'm
the
asking you whose
premises.
side you're on. Team Tiff or against Team Tiff? You said you weren't telling us. We're on a public sidewalk. This is literally
This is private property.
This is public property.
This is private. Yeah.
Have you lost your mind?
Sir.
Have you
Sir,
completely
sir,
bumped your head?
Sir, I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm going to tell
a
you
disabled
something.
veteran with PTSD.
Good
you
for
are
you.
sending
That
me
doesn't
in a
mean
place
anything. I
that is
didn't
not
come to
good
you.
for me.
I didn't come to you. You came to us.
Please leave.
You came to us. You literally double parked.
Okay.
You're blocking in Team Tiff right here. We want to make sure that access is clear for Team Tiff.
Hey, come over here.
What is
We
the
got a
problem?
And
You're the
I
only
think we
problem.
need to get this thing rectified.
Who are you calling?
All right.
You are the only problem. And then you said you're PTSD. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're going to try to get violent with somebody? I mean, let's just be real. What does it mean that you're PTSD?
You're literally the groundskeeper trying to give orders?
What does it mean that you're PTSD?
Yeah, why does that matter?
That we're going to trigger you or something? Are you trying to blame us for how you're going to react? That don't fly around here. You know what I mean? You're responsible for how you act. You
That's
chose
true.
to drove your truck over here. You chose to get far too close to any of us. And as far as I'm concerned, I would prefer still practice social distancing so you could stay 6 to 10 feet away from me. Is that too much to ask?
I backed up.
I'll back up a little bit too, because I don't want this guy's PTSD to get triggered, because I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's had a weapon in it.
You got to admit they're pretty funny.
Pulling out a weapon and like shooting me.
Give me a bunch of ones if you think these guys are pretty funny.
Is that even a government vehicle you're driving?
Or is that your personal vehicle?
Right, Forrest. I'm just cracking up, man. You know, why watch regular TV when you can watch?
It would have been easier if you had just read the Constitution before trying to do this, before you bumped your head on the First Amendment like you did.
What's the point?
That First Amendment will get you every time.
The level of incompetence and ignorance in the government has become so deep-rooted that the South Holland Police Department had to step in. Watch until the end to catch a brief segment on Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Don't forget to drop a number 5 in the comments if you enjoyed the video.
What's your name?
Yeah, so this is the best part.
No, what's your name? I'll ask the questions around
back
here.
and relax.
We haven't committed a crime. We're on public property. Rojas. Okay, Rojas. We're on public property, and yes, it is. This is public property.
Public meeting, correct?
Do you see a sign that says private property? This is anybody can harassing. No, he came up to us. We were just standing on the sidewalk talking amongst ourselves, right?
He comes up to us.
He came up to us. That's not harassing. Okay, he came up to us. As you can see, he double parks and then comes up to us telling us what we don't even know this guy from Adam.
Yeah.
Like we're, you know what I mean? There's a public meeting going on here. Okay, there's a news truck right there. You see what I'm saying? This is a matter of great public interest all around this building that you don't seem to realize is public property. Okay, the right of the people to assemble peaceably, the right of the people to press.
So weren't you guys in there then?
Don't, I'll ask the questions, okay? Yeah, we don't have to be in there.
Why aren't you guys inside in the meeting then if you guys are so curious about it?
We'll ask the questions around here, Rojas.
Are you a police officer?
No, I'm one of the people.
So then why are you asking me questions?
Because that's the power of the people. They press on their government.
You guys are funny.
You questions too, right?
Well, you're not going to get any answers. How are you doing?
What's up?
Yeah.
I've met you before.
Welcome to public property, man.
Welcome to the public meeting that's going on.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, I like you better already. What's your name?
We've met you before.
What's your name again? Oh, Reyes, right? Yeah. How are you doing? You know this is public property, right?
Wait, take a look at his weapon, guys. It's something that, you know, attention to detail, BZ, if you're still here. That's why I love Marines. Take a look at his holster. What do you notice about his holster that makes you think he might be trying to intimidate somebody?
You know this is public property, right? Public property? Are you doing deaf mute thing? This isn't funny, man. You're thinking that I know you over there. You guys could look really good if you were just like, yeah, you have a right to be here, of course. You have a right to film. You have a right to peaceably assemble at
$5.
Absolutely, and the right to be
$5
here. This is
own
public
number
property.
at.
This
Own
isn't
number at.
private
Just
property.
Give me $5. Hold
This
on a
is
minute.
literally
Hold on a minute.
the steps of.
Everybody, make sure to like and subscribe to O number at. He just sent me $5. That's going to help the channel. That's going to help support my family. Make sure that my wife is more inclined to take my son to judo class so I can keep doing these shows. But no, the holster deal, guys, is unlatched. Scrubzilla. Ding, 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 ding. Check out his holster, guys. Check out his holster.
Of City Hall.
Unlatched.
The steps of City Hall. We're doing whatever we want that's in the bounds of freedom. Okay, we don't have to explain it. You're trying to, but we don't have to tell you what we're doing. Right? So we don't have any ill will or intent. I'll tell you that.
Next time
right
I see
now.
a close up, I'll stop.
You know,
it
we're
for
just
you.
gathering content. We're just gathering content for a story. And this
Where's
guy
holster?
comes up
It's
and tries to
unlatched.
tell us that we can't stand on a sidewalk around City Hall. On the sidewalk over there by that tree.
Hold on. Let me just kind of go back a little bit, see if I can pick it up. I don't know. See, it's kind of being blocked a little bit. You're right, but there's a little flipper, a little rubber or leather strap that flips over the back of the weapon to make sure it won't come out of the holster. And his is not locked in.
Stand on a sidewalk
to be pulled out
around
at any
City
time.
Hall.
I don't know if you can see it there. Just keep an eye on his holster and just notice how anybody could pull it out right now. And so there's a guard that prevents that from happening. So he obviously has unlatched it so he can pull it out quicker.
On the sidewalk over there, by that tree.
Attention to detail.
But, I mean, we go where we want to go, right?
As the watchdog, I will,
absolutely,
bro.
we have a right to be here. Thank you.
Stand by.
Goddamn right. Thank you.
Everybody
What's
give
your
me a
name?
bunch of ones for BZ.
Well, why did you lie to us? No, hang on now. There's two sides. Did they ask you to leave? That you're causing this disturbance?
No, we're not causing a disturbance. We were just standing on the sidewalk, not doing anything. Oh, somebody got moted. For what crime? We have a right to assemble here.
Come on, I'm gonna bring you inside.
What are you talking about?
You guys are here for the meeting?
We're here for whatever we want to do, man. But we've already been excluded from the meeting, if you want to be honest.
They never said, no, that guy said that you're more than welcome to be in the meeting.
Except that when we tried to go in, the security guard said that it was full and we had to go downstairs. And
Wait, Roger, when you say 500 Magnum, are you talking about a Smith & Wesson 500? Man, I wish I could show you guys some of my toys. I got an S&W 500 too, and I have a chest holster for that. And I got bear loads. The last time I took it out, I almost snapped my wrists off, both of them. Boom! Man, the things they're so freaking powerful of bear loads, if that's what you're talking about. Now, BZ, I am able to partially see your text. The problem is I dropped my phone the other day and the screen's cracked. So when I put it on, I can't figure it out. But if I kind of twist it around, I can kind of see it. But it looks like BZ is saying that that he was not on private property and that he was unlawfully arrested. So we're going to follow the saga of BZ Watchdog's handcuffing arrest in a future episode. Let's see. So right now, so far, what you see is these cops are harassing these dudes. They don't like them standing in the parking lot. And now they're trying to escort them into the public meeting that they were already kicked out of. So, and then Speed Freely says, are these people being paid to do this stupid SHIT in order to distract the load of fentanyl passing through the town? No kidding, dude. Look, I'm with you. I mean, I think that I'm hoping that Elon Musk's with his government accountability deal. Remember, he fired almost 80% of the staff at Twitter, and it was fine. All government jobs do is create union donations to one political party, and it's the political party that wants to grow government. Give me a bunch of ones if you think we need to stop growing government and start growing families and start teaching children classical education so they understand the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and where their freedoms come from, that their rights come from a creator, like it says in the Declaration of Independence. They don't even teach the Revolutionary War in the commie-run public schools anymore. It's disgusting. Let's get back into this video.
And we went downstairs. No, at this point, we can go wherever we want. We can go wherever we want. I don't need to go in. And I don't need an escort from the South Holland Police Department either.
He said that the security guy said you couldn't go in there.
No, the security guard inside.
No, we're talking about the security guy inside because we already tried that. We tried to attend the meeting.
Yeah, and he said we had to go downstairs and watch it. We're not harassing anybody. We're just standing there. No, we didn't talk to anybody.
They were approached.
No, we don't. I don't want to go inside. I'll go wherever I want.
I mean, don't lie to me. Don't ever lie to me.
It's pretty embarrassing.
Well, they're allowed to lie,
Just
so
embarrass your
why wouldn't they?
He looks good, you're going to look like a buffoon. And that's all on you, babe. That's all on you, babe.
For Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Tonight, she's facing 3 new lawsuits. Our Elizabeth Matthews
There you
has
go.
details. And Elizabeth, these are from former employees, right?
Sue says that she was fired for not being a yes man, for not following the mayor's orders, which she told us she calls unethical. These 3 federal civil lawsuits were filed in court last night. All 3 state the 3 former employees were victims of retaliation. An administrative
he's a
assistant says
gangster
she was let
rapper.
go after refusing to do political campaign work while on village time. A former human resources manager says she refused to dig up dirt on her colleagues and was locked out of the office after taking FMLA time off. Another employee says she
They're the
just
same kind of people that brought all these charges against Trump. Like they target their political enemies. They act like gangster rappers. A lot of people are saying they're like DEI hires. They're not. They certainly don't come off presidential or mayoral.
couldn't go along with Henyard's requests.
She didn't want us to process business licenses and permits for certain business owners.
How do you know that? Did she personally talk to you about that, or how did you know it was coming from her?
Yeah, she told me personally, because one business owner in particular, I told her, I said, there's no reason for this business owner not to get his permits. And she said, I don't care, have his lawyer, contact our lawyer.
Legislative
Trained to
counsel
lie.
for the
That's right.
trustees
That's
says
really-
that he's surprised to learn of only 3 more of these. He expects that there will be more wrongful termination suits to come. He adds that there's pending about 40 lawsuits right now against the village of Dalton. We reached out to the mayor for comment and have not yet heard
Right,
back.
Mike
In
Wilbur.
Dalton, Elizabeth
Terrible.
Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.
Identify yourself for me, officer.
Just keep going. This is a good
Name
one.
and badge number. You want to bark orders? Name and badge number. I know what's going on here. I know what's going on here. I'm not in your crime scene. Put tape up. What's your name and badge number?
At Leone Township Park in Jackson, Michigan, Blackman Leone police were called to handle an unresponsive person near the lake, confirming a natural death. Freedom News is at the forefront of holding violent police accountable. In this audit, the auditor encounters a new officer who
Thanks, Jess
violates
Willie.
policy and refuses to identify
Hold on.
himself
Hey, Jess Willie. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
while on duty. Many police departments in the U.S. have now become militarized, protecting only their oun interests. Stay vigilant,
guys are
record
awesome, man. You guys
interactions,
motivate
and
me.
follow along
No.
to see the truth revealed.
Okay, guys, so we got a DOA here in this.
Age go.
Immediately, the cops
on,
worried
Age go.
about calling me
Age
out
go.
by my name.
Justin McDermott, I need you to stay over here, okay? Stay on the grass, that's fine with me.
Identify yourself for me.
Okay, stay on the grass.
Identify
that's fine
yourself
with me.
for me, officer. Name and badge number. You want to bark orders? Name and badge number. I know what's going on
This is
here.
a crime scene. I need you
I
to
know
stay
what's
with your-
going on here. I'm not in your crime scene. Put tape up. What's your name and badge number? Got a sergeant here. Got a corporal here. Can I get your name,
Oh, that
officer?
sucks. Yeah, double tap that screen,
Can I get
guys.
your
Do
name,
some double
officer?
taps.
You know who
I don't know
I
who
can
you are.
subscribe all the time. Save.
Okay, so we got 3 cops here.
We
Don't
grow
want
the
to
channel,
identify.
guys.
We got a serious
Share.
scene here. Got a DOA. Got a person. Got a body in here right now.
appropriate for you to be. You can.
Don't tell me what to do with my job. I'm not telling you how to do your job. Don't tell me how to do mine. Why don't you identify yourself? You ashamed of what you do?
The beast. I love it.
Go ahead.
You guys ashamed of what you're doing, huh? Okay, so we got multiple Blackman units on scene. They're ashamed of what they're doing, won't even identify themselves by policy. I'm still waiting for one of them to identify themselves. Could I get one of you to identify?
You know we're from Blackman. You can see his vest.
I can't see. He's covering it.
I'm not covering it. You know my name's Bill Rio.
What's your badge number?
155 if you need it.
Thank you. Was that so hard? That was difficult for you, wasn't it? Real difficult.
Absolutely not.
Yes, it was. Why was it? Why wouldn't you say it then?
Because you know who I am. You
No, I
walk
don't.
acting like you
I don't know who you are. I haven't seen the so-called.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy, cop,
too
still
bad,
won't
Mama
identify
Lion.
himself. You want to identify him so I can pull records? Okay, guys. So this is his friend's dad's car. No. I'm a good guy. I'm here for good reasons. Freedom News now. My name is Justin. Don't let this tyrant cop fool you. He's not here to help you out. Wow, guys, I don't understand the disrespect here. Really, I don't. Mike's been good with me. I appreciate that. But this guy, someone needs to put him in check. I haven't been around here in a while. I've been doing this for a long time. I know how to border things, try to tell me how to do my job. I know what I'm doing. I'm not coming here to tell him. I was a silent observer till he calls me out by my full name. I don't care. People know me. I'm not ashamed of what I do. You guys are. Why? Then why are you afraid to sound off? Name and badge number. I don't get it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You're just doing your job, right?
I would agree.
Okay, then what's there to be ashamed of?
Not ashamed. You keep saying it is.
Well, you're acting that way. You guys created this. I showed up silent.
So the issue is going to be, guys, you know, if those cops tackle the guy and beat him up, yeah, they're going to be in the wrong. But always got to remember, how is a jury going to think? They're going to think, well, hey, my uncle's a cop or my cousin's a cop, and yeah, we'll find in your favor, but we're gonna screw you out of the big money. So you always have to remember that it's, you know, like my old pastor used to say, you have to be courteous, considerate, and kind to others. And that's just my perspective. I'm just telling you, as a lawyer, someone who's going to sign up a case, if I have a client who's a hothead and wants to tell me how to do my job, I'm not going to take that case. But if because I already know that a jury's not going to award him any money. And so I'm going to be spending my own money out of my own pocket to pay for costs and upfront fees, court fees, to advance the costs and move the case forward, knowing already that the jury is probably going to consider him to be hostile and probably not going to want to give him any money. So I'm going to drop this link. If you guys want to watch the whole video, it's pretty damn good. And again, I'm all for doing what he's doing. I think that he's doing everything right. But if he wants to sue and get money, if he gets hurt, I'm just telling you that's the wrong approach, because a jury, most jurors, they're not going to go for it. I'm just trying to share that with you, give you some professional perspective as a lawyer of 20 years and as a paralegal of 10 years prior to that. I know what juries will pay and what they won't pay. And I know that adjusters and even self-insured people that have these representatives that come out to adjust and pay, if they see somebody like that or they watch those videos, they'll hedge their bets and go, you know what, let's just go to trial. I don't think that a jury is going to give this guy any money. So I'm just sharing that with you. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your audits or any of that stuff. Just trying to give you my perspective as a lawyer. All right, let's check out this one. This is one where, because tonight, guys, I want to have a little bit of fun too, because I've been on in a couple of days. I miss you guys. So I want to get some laughs. Let's get it going.
Request information on anyone. It's all public record. Everything that happens in this county. Okay. What's up, dude? Not much. What's going on? Annual sex offender registration up to date? Is yours? I'm not a registered sex offender. I think your mother is. This was. I thought you weren't hanging out with him anymore when she realized he was touching little kids.
Was he touching little kids? Can you show me it then?
It's public knowledge that you can get it. You want to know what's going on here?
Yeah.
So there's a pursuit. Bad dude is running from us. We're looking for him. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't care if you film me, but it's not going to get you anywhere because nothing's going to happen right here. This is called a perimeter. So what I'm doing is holding down the perimeter. If he runs from us outside of this, we'll find him. Okay.
Okay.
So where do you think he's at? If I knew that, we'd get him, wouldn't we? Yeah, but where's the perimeter at? What's the perimeter? Well, that'd be pretty non-tactical if I told you that, right? Not really. It's in Portland. I'll give you that much.
Can you show me the proof?
Proof of what?
Are you touching little kids?
You can get the records request. Go to our records department. I'll give you business for it. You can request information on anyone. It's all public record. Everything that happens in this county. Okay.
Okay, so the cop threw a little joke at the guy saying, do you know your buddy's a convicted, SCX, whatever offender? By the way, this is a reaction video, but type it in the sidebar. I'm probably already going to get demonetized because there was some piano music, for crying out loud. But so by the cop saying that, if that statement's not true, this is just a legal educational moment. I'm trying to teach you guys, teachable moment. He made a public statement to the guy standing next to him that your buddy is a registered offender and he touches kids. And so if that statement's not true and it caused damage, harm to him, to damage to his friend's reputation, then he can sue that cop for defamation. And it may even be a violation of department policy. So just so you guys know, that would be an example of defamation. And it was pretty hilarious, though. Again, hopefully some of you guys laughed about it. I thought it was pretty freaking funny. That's why I shared it with you. Now let's get into the next one. because I've got a bunch of stuff I want to share with you guys, and it's already like almost an hour and a half in. So I don't want to. I'm just glad BZ's still here with me, and we'll do BZ's show too. But I'll do it tomorrow night because this is more like the comedy show, in about how will this case, will a jury award this person money, or would a jury be more inclined not to award this person money? Here we go.
Police got speechless when they're against a man that knows his rights.
Just gonna make sure nobody else is. No, please, no. Oh, I actually know. Sorry, just actually.
And I'll share this with you guys.
Mess with you, bother you. Well, you do understand if you just walk in my place and you just automatically start walking around, and I know y'all wear body cams as well. That's so unfortunate too. If you just come in my place like that and you just start walking around, you're not gonna have my permission to do that. So I don't appreciate that. You can't violate my rights because you got to call me. Okay. So you're not helping me if you just come in and you automatically start following. Well, sir, it was more for like officers. No, it's not officers of safety because I didn't even have to let you in. Right. So, no, don't say right, because it's about my safety because you're in my domain. And if you're here to help me, you can't say,
Well, so he was stupid to let him in the house. So give me a bunch of ones if you think that was ridiculous. Let's get on to the next one. This is a 15-year-old kid who basically tells these cops how to handle business, and I think he did a good job.
Okay. What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
What's your badge number?
What's your name?
What's your badge number? Badge number. That says
Came
name.
and arrested his dad from his front porch.
What's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
In Park City, Utah, that 15-year-old boy is exercising his constitutional rights and educating the police.
Do you have a search warrant?
We don't need
Yes, you do. To
You might want to go to school and learn the law.
I already know the law. Okay, please don't talk to me. So get out of my way. Okay.
This is my case.
It's your
So I'll
case.
talk to you as much as I want.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to respond to you.
Well, I'm more than willing to talk to you, but I'm not going to play the stupid games. Okay.
You kind of are.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Moments earlier,
Here for me. Yeah. No. Hey.
Whoa.
police attacked the boy's father, dragged the man out of his house, and tased him, even though the cops acknowledged there had been no crime.
You just tased me for no reason.
The videos are at the heart of a $1 million civil lawsuit filed against the Park City, Utah police, and a criminal trial now scheduled for May.
I'm not resisting.
2 officers have also been fired. All of this dates back to September 29, 2019, when officers responded to reports of an argument between Michael Franchek and a neighbor. Michael's 15-year-old son, Jack, had been riding a gas-powered bicycle, and the neighbor allegedly yelled at Jack to stop and threatened to beat him up. When Jack's dad and the neighbor began arguing, another neighbor called police and claimed Franchek had a weapon in the back of his pants. That information was relayed over police radios.
Yeah, the male you're looking for with that had a gun tucked in.
What's wrong with that? That's called being an American.
Yeah, I copied the complaint and told me that. This one.
I'm assuming it's this one because of the.
Everybody should be armed. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
After
Makes
police
us better
stepped
than
up,
every- all
Franchek
these
came
other
out of his
countries
house, and the
win.
conversation initially was cordial and calm.
Can I help you?
Hello. Are you Michael?
Hi, can I help you with something?
Yeah. We're here about
guys.
a.
And your name?
Officer Rodriguez.
First name?
Team MPE.
Jim. How are you, Jim?
Okay.
And your name?
Give me a bunch of MPEs in the sidebar, guys.
Sorry?
Double tap
Badge
that
number?
screen.
What's that?
Badge number,
Okay.
please.
Let's go ahead and talk about the incident that you had out here a few minutes ago.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Step down here for me.
No, thanks.
Yeah. No. Hey.
Whoa.
An officer's body camera fell and landed on the floor.
Way out of the way.
didn't do anything. You just came into my house without a warrant.
You're running away.
I'm not running away from you.
You just did. Is there any gun in your back pocket? I just want to make sure we're safe.
We're safe.
Okay, come
I'm
on
not
outside.
coming outside.
Can we talk right here?
Sure we can. Jack,
Okay.
come here,
on
record
outside.
this.
Come on out.
Jilly V. Thank you, Jilly V. Check it out, guys. Jilly V just hooked me up. 5 memberships. And I love it that you guys are purchasing memberships because that's what we need. We need more private first class chevrons on my viewers so people know that they're members of Team MPE and they have back channel access. Now, BZ Watchdog does make an interesting comment that, yeah, brandishing a firearm would be an offense. But, you know, I don't know what city or state he's in, but where I live, you can open carry. And having a weapon tucked in your waistline, as long as it's visible, that's actually complying with the law. You're not brandishing anything. Brandishing is when you're trying to present it or use it in a threatening manner. But just being armed, I mean, cops are jerks to people all the time and they're armed. That's not brandishing. And so the fact that I don't know where this guy lives, but he might be in some, leftist state where they don't allow you to have firearms. But if that's the case, that's on him. He should probably move to a free state. Give me a bunch of ones if he needs to move to a free state. Let's keep on watching.
Outside, record this. I'm outside. Oh, Jack, record this. Grab my phone and record this. Whoa, I'm injured. Okay, cooperate. I am cooperating. You're violating my Fourth Amendment right. Oh, stop. Outside. You're violating my Fourth Amendment right.
You guys cannot come in here without a search warrant.
Get the phone. Get the phone. Cooperate. I'm cooperating. I'm not fighting you.
At this point, Franchek's son Jack began recording.
Okay. Enough. I didn't do anything. You just tased me for no reason.
Unbelievable. In his own house.
What are you doing? Stop. What am I being detained for?
You have no probable cause
What am I being
whatsoever.
detained for?
Just stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. No, don't take his phone. No. Don't take his phone. Don't take his phone.
That officer appeared to lunge at Jack's phone.
I'm not resisting. No, don't take his phone. No. Don't take his phone. Don't take his phone. I'm good. I've chilled the
Good
whole
dad.
time. I haven't done anything.
Good job, Dad.
I haven't resisted.
Officers.
I just talked to you. I am behind my back. This is unbelievable.
No, I know.
This is
They walked in the house without a search warrant.
This is unbelievable.
Okay.
It's all on film. Get my camera.
It's on my phone too.
It's on my phone. The whole thing is on film.
So they're going to argue exigent circumstances, that for officer safety, they're afraid that he ran into the house and that he might pull this gun, this imaginary gun. And of course, if a neighbor did see his openly carried firearm and they live in a state where you're not allowed to openly carry a firearm, then, they might have an argument, but I think that they would have been able to see very quickly if he was carrying a firearm, if it wasn't legal. And I don't think that they have that right now. Otherwise, they would have already pulled it off of his waistline. So this is already a bad arrest from my perspective as an attorney. What do you guys think?
The whole thing is on film. Jack, follow me and record.
Okay.
This way. Follow me and record. Okay.
Give us space.
I'm not.
Give us space.
Okay.
No, Jack,
What's your space? What's your space?
Jack, record the whole thing. You're recording.
Give us space.
Does this look like enough space?
He's asking the right
What
questions.
am I doing? You
Smart
don't push
kid.
the handcuffs. You're injuring me. I'm not resisting.
Johnny,
Put the
come
torture
on,
cuffs
my
on him.
house. Close my door. Lock it.
I didn't do anything, bro. You saw that. You saw the whole thing, and it's all been recorded.
It is.
I didn't resist.
I know.
I didn't do it. You know. See, he acknowledged that I didn't resist, Jack.
Yeah, I have it on video.
I didn't resist.
Well, we asked you to stop, right?
I didn't do anything against your instructions. This guy came into my house without a warrant, without any probable cause.
Let me just talk for a second.
I said, I don't know anything, and he tackled me in my house.
He told you to stop, right?
He did not say anything of the sort.
Officer,
It's all
I
on
heard the
video.
whole thing.
It's all
and
on
it's on
tape.
video, so.
It's all
I
on
know.
video.
It is.
It's all on video.
It is.
Dude, that guy is out of control. I'm filing
Officer,
complaint against him. I want him nowhere near me. That guy is crazy.
Officer.
It's just me and you, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm fine. Shh. No, he can
No.
talk. He can talk.
No,
I can
not
talk
what I'm
because
trying
I
to
was
do.
in the
You're gonna arrest
situation.
him?
No, we're not going to arrest
Okay,
you.
then calm down. Then just what? What?
Well,
He
do you want
can
me to talk to you?
He recorded the whole thing. This guy is out of control.
Wild, man.
Okay.
What's your
listen.
badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look,
I'm
he's
name
not
is
trying
Step
to
back.
record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
This guy,
Back.
Hey, don't
Back.
touch me. Stop harassing me.
We're just trying to.
I'm videoing this. You can do this. Please get out of my personal space.
No.
Yes.
You're not gonna
Get out
interfere
of my
with what we're
personal
doing.
space.
Not
This is my
interfering.
property. Please
You're
get
not
out of
going to
my-
interfere with an arrest.
I'm chill. I've been chill.
You can record all you want, but you're not going to get close to what they're
I'm on
doing.
my property. Move out of my personal space.
I'm going
please.
to stand right
This is
here.
my personal square. Please move.
I'm going to stand right here.
Please move. You're in my personal space.
No. What's your name?
Yeah, I do not need to give you that.
Yeah, you do.
For what reason?
Don't do
Because you're
I know.
involved in this.
I'm involved with this. Yes, but this guy threatened me and called the cops on you. And what's your badge number?
What's your name?
What's your badge number? Badge number. That says name.
3K12.
Okay.
Now, what's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
You're not making any
Smart
statements?
kid.
Okay, I have the right to identify you. You understand that, right?
Then you
right
can
to
search
ask.
up my face and you can search up my record.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you're going to sit tight for a minute. You're not
Okay.
going anywhere.
I can go in my house if I
No,
want.
you
Am I
can't.
detained?
You're detained.
For what reason? For what? That guy
Going
threatening me? Why isn't
Love
that guy
this
going to
kid,
jail?
man.
That guy threatened to beat me in his ass. So why aren't you guys arresting him?
That's not the
Why aren't you
information I
tagging?
got.
Yeah, he can just lie.
Jack,
We were trying.
Jack, step back and keep recording.
I'm literally in my space and this guy's just touching me.
I didn't touch you at all.
I have it on video.
And in fact, Jack's video shows Officer Rodriguez did touch him.
That's right.
Officer Badger,
Battery.
what's your name?
Step back.
I'm
Look,
not.
look, look, he
I'm
just
on that
touched me. You
side.
can record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
This
guy,
Hey, hey, don't
Back.
touch me. Stop harassing me.
The officers then went back to the house to retrieve their body camera. Jack followed.
Stay back.
I'm going in.
If you try and come past me, you're going to go on the ground face first. Do you understand
Okay,
me?
and then I'm going to file a complaint against you.
You believe this
Go get your
guy?
camera, yes.
This is nuts.
I'm allowing you to do that, but you cannot walk in my house.
Double
I
tap
have
that
3
screen.
cops
Tell
on
me
me
you
and
love
I'm
my
15
show.
years old. Because you guys intruded my house.
So you were the one driving up and down the street on the motorcycle?
I was on my gas bicycle.
Okay, that's a gas-powered vehicle. You have to have a driver's license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it's 50cc and you have a permit for it.
Once again, Jack is correct.
Cops are idiots.
The police then stepped away to talk among themselves.
Yeah,
The
they're
body
trying to
camera
come up with
recorded them
charges
admitting that
to
because
get 'em
Michael
over.
Franchek has a concealed carry permit, he was entitled to carry a gun as long as he didn't brandish it in a threatening manner.
right.
And nobody said he did.
Well, if you didn't threaten anyone with it, there's no. I don't think
No,
there's
it was
any
just a
sense of
concern for
trying
me.
to- Oh no, absolutely.
Officer safety.
But I don't think there's any reason to try to write a warrant to get in the house.
No.
We'll identify him through him. I'll just do TLO or whatever.
Okay.
And then the friend, I've got his information. Their statements, I couldn't care less because they're not cooperative.
So did you guys catch that? So there's no reason to run a warrant to search the home for the weapon because there's no allegation of brandishing a firearm. So I think obviously BZ has seen this. BZ, you're such a spoiler, man. Give me some push-ups there, you messing up my freaking doggone show. Hell must be out of your freaking doggone mind there, you. Oh.
I'll just refer to the juvenile courts. If they want to screen it for charges, great. And if they
For
don't,
rallying the motorcycles or whatever.
yeah.
That's
I mean, I
all.
doubt that goes anywhere, but, you know.
I doubt it goes anywhere. All right. In other words, the officers just want to use the juvenile court to intimidate and harass Jack, even though there's nothing for the court to pursue. And as for Michael Franchek, the officer
Wild.
admits there was no underlying crime.
To be honest, all I would have done is talk to everybody, and it's a he said, she said. I would have written it up and said, here's the report.
That works.
And then he does this garbage. So I'm going to arrest him for failure to obey a lawful command, resisting, disorderly.
Yeah, disorders. That's good because it got her attention too.
Bullshit charge.
3 charges, all because Franchek did not bow down to police and allow them to trample on its
They'll all get
constitutional
thrown out.
rights.
Just step down here for me. Yeah, no. Hey,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't do anything. You just came into my house without a warrant.
Meanwhile, there was one more insult from a cop to Jack.
Okay, and I'm filing a what's called on him because he touched me when I
Battery.
did nothing.
Okay.
I mean,
Do you want to have a
where's
actual
your dad
conversation?
Where's he going?
To Summit County Jail.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more willing to talk to you, but I'm not going to play the stupid games. Okay.
you kind of are. Because
Okay. We're done.
okay, can I have the case number right now?
Huh?
Can I have where?
You can give it to your dad.
No, right now. I need to hear.
Okay.
Tell you what, you can go in the house, you can do whatever, but we're done with you guys. You guys aren't being cooperative. We'll leave it at that.
We're being cooperative. We just told
You're
you.
not. You're just being mouthy.
Speaking of being mouthy, a short time later, with their body cameras still recording, Sergeant Thor and Officer Rodriguez discussed again what charges to bring against Michael Franchek. During that conversation, Officer Rodriguez attempted to cover the camera and microphone, but the device still picked up the audio. This audio was first enhanced by the Lackluster channel. Listen as the officers strategized what to do since there was no crime.
Obviously, this is going to turn into something. He's going to get you known. So I'm going to do the sup on how the kid was being in, how I checked his cuffs. Like his cuffs were tight. He has big wrists. You have to click like once or twice in. You can't click him anymore. What do you do?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, you got to take him, and then what do you
Right
do?
handcuff lawsuit.
Resisting, disorderly.
Failure to identify.
Failure to.
And then I'm going to look up me having a handgun in a dispute. It might not fly. It might fly. I don't know.
We never found a gun. We got the witness statement.
Right.
But you look that up if you want. That's be my guess.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
4 days later,
Hostile witness. That's a hostile witness statement is like no statement at all. Come on, guys.
when the charges reached the state prosecutor, he refused to prosecute but referred the case to the Park City Municipal Court. That court, to avoid a conflict, sent the case to Salt Lake City. Nearly a year after the incident, Salt Lake City changed the charges to 2 misdemeanors against Franchek, interfering with an arresting officer and failure to disclose identity. If convicted, those charges carry a sentence of up to 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine.
Ridiculous.
Franchek has refused to try to strike a deal or admit to any
Good for you.
wrongdoing. So his jury trial on the misdemeanor charges is now scheduled for May of 2022.
I don't know
Meanwhile,
what
after an
the
internal police
outcome was.
investigation, Officer Rodriguez was found to have violated 5 department policies. Sergeant Thor was found to have violated 3 department policies, and Officer Ware was in
Absolutely.
violation of 1. As the city press release stated, as a result of this incident, the entire Park City Police Department were required to attend training on First Amendment law. Officer Rodriguez and Sergeant Thor were issued reprimands and corrective actions.
Wow.
Both officers failed to complete their assigned corrective actions within the required time frame. So officers Rodriguez and Thor were terminated.
Good.
Last fall in September of
Scumbags.
2021, Michael Franchek filed a...
So before we get into this any further, this happened in 2022. So if BZ or anybody can, if you know what the outcome was, I mean, let me know. I'd like to follow up and let you guys know what happened. I think I was the only person, the only lawyer anyways, on YouTube to break the story that I own your house. Remember that Riverside sheriff? I own your house now. I think I'm the only one who broke the story that, hey man, the prosecutor dumped those charges. So give me a bunch of ones for that woman standing her ground. And those charges got dropped. And if it had not been recorded by her Ring camera, trust me, she would have ended up getting convicted. That's how it is. Always, always record. Never don't record.
Civil lawsuit against Park City and 4 officers involved in the incident for the deprivation of Michael and Jack's First, Fourth, and 14th Amendment rights. The Francheks are seeking more than $1 million and a public apology. The lawsuit is expected to take years. Finally, Jack is now 18 years old and will be attending college in the fall of 2022. He says he plans to study pre-law and seek a career helping the wrongfully accused.
Following in my footsteps.
I'm David Schuster.
My kind of guy, my kind of kid, man. All right. So look, this next video, I don't know how far I'm going to be able to go, guys, but this is where my heart really is. I like showing the Cop Watch videos because it gets the young crowd and stuff, but this is where my heart is. So I want you guys to give me some love for the 10th Amendment Center, and please stick around and watch.
You can't comply your way out of tyranny. This is one of the most important and most forgotten principles from the American Revolution. On this episode, I'll uncover some highlights of the most powerful warnings from leading founders and old revolutionaries about the dangers of compliance with unconstitutional acts, with usurpations of power. Plus, from a century later, a guy named Lysander Spooner, someone we should all be at least a little familiar with, who told us much of the same. These are lessons we absolutely can't afford to ignore any longer. But first of all, before getting to that, welcome and thank you for joining me here on the Path to Liberty. My name is Michael Bolden with the 10th Amendment Center, this is the show for Wednesday, November 6th, 2024. Let's get right to it. First of all, with the principle that acts that go beyond the Constitution
drop the link for you
are void. And that's how the third Chief Justice put it, Oliver Ellsworth, during the Connecticut Ratifying Convention. He said, if they make a law which the Constitution does not authorize, it is void.
It is void.
And I'm wearing the shirt for this one, for those of you who are watching the video version here, James Otis Jr. At the beginning of the American Revolution in 1761. This is the radical change in the viewpoints of the people in the years that led up to the shot heard around the world and the war for independence. Here he is in his speech against the writs of assistance, February of 1761, making that same point. An act against the Constitution is void. And this was the same even for the unwritten British Constitution.
Yep.
And then about a century later, here's Lysander Spooner in his great essay, A Defense for Fugitive Slaves, one of my favorites, if not my favorite from him. He said, an unconstitutional statute is no law in the view of the Constitution.
That's right.
It is void.
It is void.
And confers no authority on anyone. And the reason the founders, the old revolutionaries, and then also Spooner years later, they warned about this is because, well, government always grows. It is the nature of government to always seek to expand its power. And every single step beyond the limits of the Constitution, even the smallest one, establishes a precedent for them to do more and more and more of the same in the future. Here, for example, John Dickinson is in his very powerful and influential broadside urging non-compliance with the Stamp Act in 1765. He said, if you comply with the act by using stamped papers, You rivet perpetual chains upon your unhappy country. This was even for people who thought that the taxes on the Stamp Act or from the Stamp Act were small. They were small enough that you didn't want to stick your neck out and risk it. But he was talking about the precedent, the principle that the government could start doing this. And once they start doing one thing, they're never, ever, ever going to stop. And that's why he said, if you comply, you fix, you rivet perpetual chains upon your unhappy country. He continued, you unnecessarily, voluntarily establish the detestable precedent, which those who have forged your fetters ardently wish for, to varnish the future exercise of this new claimed authority.
Yep.
And then just less than 2 years later, in response to the hated Townsend Acts, Dickinson wrote a series of essays called Letters from a Farmer in Pennsylvania. There were 12 of them that he wrote in late 1767, and they published from there and into 1768. He passed them along to people like Samuel Adams and James Otis Jr. These were the most widely read documents on American liberty up until publication of Thomas Paine's Common Sense in 1776. It got him the name the penman of the American Revolution. And here he is talking about this precedent once again. He said, when an act injurious to freedom has once been done and the people bear it, the repetition of it is more likely to meet with submission. He was just a student of history. He was a student of human nature. He was a student of government. He understood that these types of things, anytime they attack your freedom and the people go along with it, then, well, it's going to keep happening more and more and more. And he continued. He said, for as the mischief of the one was found to be tolerable, they will hope that of the second will prove so too. And they will not regard the infamy of the last because they are stained with that of the first.
That's right.
Thomas Paine in Rights of Man Part 2. I believe this was published in 1792. These will all be linked to in the show notes. I'll mention that in just a moment. He described it like this: government by precedent, without any regard to the principle of the precedent, is one of the vilest systems that can be set up. Now, we're not officially under a system of precedent, but if we all understand human nature and these maxims about government power always growing, we're establishing unwritten precedents every time we comply in large numbers to unconstitutional acts, to usurpations of power, theft of power that rightly belongs with the people of the several states that they never delegated to these agents who are supposed to be working for them.
That's right.
Again, Paine said, government by precedent without regard to the principle of the precedent is one of the vilest systems that can be set up. In numerous instances, he continued, the precedent ought to operate as a warning and not as an example, and requires to be shunned instead of imitated. But instead of this, precedents are taken in the lump and put at once for constitution and for law. Now, we could read into this. I can give you my own take on it. In essence, what I'm seeing is the precedent, when government goes beyond their limits, the precedent should be they get slapped back into shape, slapped right back into their constitutional box so quickly that this is a warning not to do it again.
I agree. What's the matter?
But when people don't take the right approach in response to usurpations of power, it becomes, well, take it in a lump and eventually becomes part of the system, even though it's not supposed to be. And Lysander Spooner talking about the British system, but also this was applicable to any government. Here in his essay on the trial by jury in 1852 said, one innovation was cited as a precedent. Precedents made customs, and customs became laws. And Thomas Jefferson, that's why I think he thought it was so important to not allow government to take even the smallest step beyond the limits of the Constitution. And that's how he described it in his opinion on the constitutionality of the First National Bank, Hamilton.
And that's why the left and the public school system hates Thomas Jefferson, because they want to grow government. That's their whole existence, is growing government. And in order to grow the government, you have to divest we the people of our constitutional power. That's why they're trying to take down his statues. And eventually their goal, the far left, like the Harris regime, is to ultimately abolish the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and create a one world government. That is their goal. That's what they're trying to do. World Economic Forum, George Soros, they're funding it, and the left is lapping up all their money.
National Bank in 1791. Of course, Jefferson took the no side. Unfortunately, we ended up with it anyways. But here's how he described it. February 15th, 1791, 10 months to the day before the official ratification of the Bill of Rights. He said, to take a single step beyond the boundaries thus specially drawn around the powers of Congress is to take possession of a boundless field of power, no longer susceptible of any definition. So if you allow them to go beyond their limits, whether it's because you think it's an emergency or because it's too trifling or you can't deal with stopping them, whatever the reason, or you think it's a good idea, soon as you give them that extra power, they have no limits. They know that they can come up with another reason to go beyond their limits of power and again and again and again. That's why we've often made the case. I know my friend Brian McClanahan goes a little bit earlier. We make the case that the Constitution, things for the Constitution actually went off the rails, not in the 19th century, not in 1913 or 33, but in 1791 with the passage of that first national bank. Unfortunately, it was signed by President Washington, but still, he did have some very good advice in his farewell address on this specific thing as well, on this issue of precedent and usurpation. He said, he basically said, if you don't like the structure of the Constitution, how the powers are divvied up, or if there's too little power out there, then change it in the way that the Constitution provides, the amendment process. But he said, let there be no change by usurpation. For though this, in one instance, may be the instrument of good, it is the customary weapon by which free governments are destroyed. So usurpation of power is a weapon. He said the precedent, again, it's the precedent, must always greatly overbalance in permanent evil any partial or transient benefit which the use can at any time yield.
Bingo.
And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, these will all be linked to in the show notes, these original source documents, because I'm just scratching the surface. And I think it's really a great idea for you to read at least some, if not all of these, in full context on your own time, so you understand.
Yeah, and that's about halfway through the show on him. But I want to get back into some fun because it's getting a little late, and I want you guys to have some fun too, especially like the younger crowd. I know you guys get bored with constitutional law, so I'm not going to lose all my audience here. So all you old codgers, stick around and get some laughs in. And I dropped the link to that video so you can watch the next 10 minutes of it. Let me see. I'll drop it again for you one more time. Check out the 10th Amendment Foundation. Make sure to let him know that Michael Eline sent you. Okay. Please, everybody who subscribes to his channel, do a comment and say Michael Eline sent you. Please come on his show as a guest. I've been badgering him for weeks now. Please come on my show as a guest. My audience really would love to see you on my show. So please do that, guys. Please, when you subscribe to his channel, say, please come on as a guest to Michael Eline's channel. Drop him a $1.99 super chat or something to get his attention. Whatever it takes, just get him on my show and support his channel, guys. Trust me, my show is great. I like to share my stuff with you as a lawyer. But my heart is with him. My heart is 1,000,000% with the 10th, I think the 10th Amendment Center, the 10th Amendment Center. This guy is, man, I don't have anything to say but good about this guy. All right, so let's get in. Let's have some laughs.
Drinking, look.
Yeah, that was you.
Call Creeder, look. That boy drinking. Hey, get the plate. Oh, DUI. You can't be drinking and driving, bro. You can't be drinking and driving. That's a DUI, motherfucker.
Drinking on the job. What the heck?
Drinking,
Are
look.
you kidding me?
Yeah, that was.
The guy's drinking on the job. What the heck? All right. So here's another one we're going to get into. This is an example that I was trying to tell you guys about earlier about rude auditors and how if you're rude and abusive to people, number one, you might get attacked. But number two, is a jury really going to award this guy money if he does get attacked? So let's check it out. We'll watch the first few minutes. It's a 43-minute video. So we'll watch the first couple of minutes so I can just show you how I would not act if I was out filming, because I wouldn't, number one, want to get beat up. And number two, if I did get beat up, I'd want to get beat up because I was doing the right thing and not pissing people off, because a jury might go ahead and find in my favor and award me $1.
Y'all better quit running your mouth with me.
Yeah, you're the one running it.
No.
May I share with you what we do when people say that?
No, thank you.
Okay.
No, thank you.
It's up to you to protect her information.
I'm on Battle House property. Have a seat. I'll be right with you.
Welcome to Lizard Media. Get ready to have your funny bone tickled as we explore the wild and wacky world of First Amendment auditing and the unbelievably and often comedic encounters we have with unsuspecting people in public. Our mission? To entertain you while shedding light on important issues.
That's
We'll
right,
have you rolling on
Trevor.
the floor laughing as
All
we
drugged out
navigate
of their
through
minds.
awkward situations with our signature blend of wit and charm. So grab your popcorn, brace yourself for uncontrollable emotions, and join us on this uproarious journey of First Amendment auditing. Get ready to feel connected to this, because our videos are guaranteed to be a good place to share your frustrations and laughter as you watch. And never forget to please take a second and like this video so the YouTube algorithm bots can share this far and wide.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are here in Mobile, Alabama.
Here's the link.
We're going to do some street audits today like we usually do, at least on this trip like we usually do. So setting up our cameras like usual, not bothering anyone, not talking to anyone, not getting in anyone's space. They're the ones who do that. We're also out here trying to remind people that you're always being recorded in public, whether you want to or not. And if you want the privacy, you've got to create it, because I'm not going to do it and you're not going to do it for me. Don't see many banks with their own giant parking structure, but they are filming us.
Beautiful. I love that color. If I get a sports car, definitely have to be the red one.
I've also never seen a drive-through that goes underneath a building. That's so weird. It's the Chick-fil-A drive-through. What the? Oh yeah.
No, this one too.
So this right here is an undercover. That right there is the sheriff vehicle here.
Looks cold.
Come on, everybody. I love the shoes. Appreciate it. I haven't seen them.
What shoes? There's no feet there.
Come on in. How you doing? Yeah, I'm making a promotion. Nah, wait.
I wonder who's in the undercover then.
He's too tall to be driving that Blazer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bro, hey, you got to tell him to give me the bigger truck, man. You're too tall for that one. Can't be that comfortable.
Pretty big dude.
Yeah.
It depends who's cheating on you or who's.
Is that Reyes? Sounds like his voice.
What are you guys doing? Oh, just taking a video.
For what?
What's that?
For what?
We don't share that while we're working.
He was standing there for so long.
Getting brave.
Getting brave.
Well, we just got to take our selfies. All right, I face behind.
It's amazing how, people, if they think they're being filmed by a civilian, it's a problem. But the government's filming all of us, and they don't give a crap, right? There's cameras
He saw
everywhere.
all of us covering our faces, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm not going to do it."
Unbelievable. People are so programmed, right? It's okay for the government to spy on us, but it's not okay for an average citizen to stand there with a camera. What a joke. How dare you take my picture?
Just taking some video of everyone.
Why?
Because
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't want to be on your video. You're already
on.
you walked out in front of it.
You got a permit to do all this?
You don't need a permit.
Okay. Well, you know what? You do have to need a permit to take pictures of me.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true. I'm a lawyer and I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Does
Then you should know the First Amendment.
Then let's have that conversation. If you're a so-called
If you're a lawyer, you should know the First Amendment.
so-called lawyer, You failed the constitutional part. How do you not know the First Amendment?
I don't buy that you're actually a lawyer.
Jokes? You're the attorney that doesn't know the First Amendment.
You are the one who doesn't know the law.
Yeah, I did. By the way, why do you feel like you need to do this to me?
Are we not allowed to? Do you find it
I'm
unlawful?
going to exercise my First Amendment right and ask you a question. You going to answer it? Why are you?
I've been answering.
Why are you doing this?
I don't have to disclose that. Why are you an attorney without knowing your First Amendment rights?
Dude, you're not smart. You think you are?
Really?
I think
Says
think
the
that's
lawyer
you.
that literally doesn't know the most basic of our rights. Bill of Rights.
The first one.
You Google in the First Amendment.
That's what it looks like. You shouldn't have to do that
needs
as
to
a
get to the
lawyer
gym.
who went to law school and passed the
He needs
bar.
to get to the gym and start taking care of his body too. One thing, when I go to court, I'm in shape. I feel good. Like, I know everybody's checking me out and they know that I'm a champion. All you lawyers, man, all you people should be going to the gym like at least 3 days a week and eating right. You're going to be a warrior. Look the part. But give me a bunch of ones if you think lawyers should be in shape. A lawyer that can't tie his shoes.
They're just going to come educate you.
Which
They can't do anything.
he should be educated. He's a lawyer.
This fake attorney doesn't know his rights.
Is that Reyes? Give me a bunch of ones if you think that's Reyes. I'm noticing the accent. I don't know.
If he had just kept walking, none of this.
There's people standing there with a camera.
Let me see your bar card.
I don't think he has one.
I'm almost 100% confident that it's like a scare tactic.
Oh yeah. People say they're lawyers all the time. I don't buy it.
Why would you want to admit that you're a lawyer? I mean, that's going to make people hate you.
If you
I usually wear
lawyer,
a t-shirt and jeans. I don't want people knowing I'm a lawyer.
You're fine.
I don't like lawyers, for crying out loud. Most of my friends are guys like
They're
you,
not going to do
Marines.
anything. They can't. If you're a good attorney, you'd know your First Amendment rights. There ain't nothing they're going to do.
Dude
Too
is
bad your panty ass is leaving. Not going to watch it.
You're just a goober.
Idiot.
It's not Reyes, yeah.
Doing all right.
Some idiot claiming to be a lawyer trying to infringe on our rights. We practice public photography. I'm sure. Have you seen First Amendment auditing videos? That's what we do. We audit our First Amendment, exercise our First Amendment rights. If we don't exercise them, people start trying to take them away from us.
That's true.
Don't send my picture first moment.
You're the most beautiful face of this morning.
Thank you, sir.
But hey, thank you guys. You guys have a good day. Appreciate it.
Right. Maybe he wanted to get punched in the face.
We put it all over everywhere. You're gonna be famous tomorrow morning.
He starts running away.
See, they got a sense of humor. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good American right there. Get it?
Just public photography. Your beard's weird.
Pirate's dream. I don't know what's the matter. You give it to me. You guys are too funny in the sidebar, man. I'm having fun with you guys. Yeah, so they're just out there filming in public, and here's the deal: if this was like CNN or an MSNBC camera crew, everybody would be like trying to get on the camera and waving to their mom and dad. Give me a bunch of ones if you know what I'm talking about. They'd be like, "Mom, Dad," but how dare you film me if it's just like an average American citizen? That shows you how brainwashed the American public has become. That you have to be officiated. You have to have a degree if you're going to talk about something scientific, right? You have to have a degree if you're going to be a lawyer. Clearly, if you don't if you didn't go to this particular law school, you could not possibly know the law, right? And it's like we didn't even have academic institutions until like the 1800s. Like all of our Supreme Court justices didn't have degrees. They didn't have a law school, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous the way people think, oh, you didn't go to a journalism school. And of course, all journalism school is basically like a Marxist training camp where they just teach you how to hate your country and then they give you a journalism degree. It's ridiculous. Give me a bunch of ones if you know what I'm talking about. Thanks, John.
127.
Right on, Scrub. Thanks, bro.
God, all these attorneys who don't know the law. God, so many attorneys today who don't know the law.
You can't help but just have a good time watching these. This is way better than watching program television.
Is it like a conference for lawyers or something?
I don't know, but that's funny.
I support you, Just Willie. What are you talking about? Me give you a
I wish
salute.
the others all here.
Just Willie, I support you, man.
Yeah, have 3 lawyers saying that we're not doing something that's constitutionally.
For what?
Do I have to disclose that to you?
Yes, sir. You're on my property doing this, so
We're not on your property.
We're on the public sidewalk.
Public sidewalk.
right in front of our property.
Doesn't matter.
No.
In front and on are different things.
Well, no, but we're on the public sidewalk right here.
Public has an easement.
We're just taking video.
You can't be taking video of my guests.
Is that unlawful?
Can you just step down there, please?
No.
But we're on the public sidewalk.
In front of our property right now.
No, we're allowed to.
You're filming our guests.
You're not going to let me talk? Okay.
This is a constitutionally protected activity.
Way
You
better
can't
than
make us
TV.
stop.
Thanks for it.
Accessible to the public. Just because it's in front of your business doesn't mean we're suddenly able to be trespassed off of a public sidewalk.
So why are you here?
I'm taking video. I told you that.
We're not going to disclose that.
Sure you do.
No, we
You're
don't.
filming people for no reason.
You're not owed an explanation.
I'm not owed an explanation.
Nope. From the guy with the weird beard.
The weird beard guy.
Red beard.
Hey,
Oh, this guy's upset.
hey,
Something wrong?
yeah, I told y'all don't have me on camera.
You didn't tell me that.
I told him, don't have me on that fucking camera.
Oh, you're in
saying
public.
bad words.
so-
I'm not liking it.
You're on public and you're on about 100.
It's just a reaction
I don't
video,
give a
guys.
shit.
I would-
Reaction
Trust me,
video.
you don't even have to call 911.
He's gonna cut, so I'm gonna move it forward.
I ain't
All right. I don't want to lose my channel. Unfortunately, the thought police now don't let you have people swearing, so let's be careful with this. So this next video, this is more of a I want to give you another teaching moment. Hopefully you guys had your laughs. I want to give you a teachable moment, okay? I'm gonna educate you right now about thanks, Brett, about the Border Patrol and the sneaky little tricks and questions that they'll ask you, and why you should never, ever, ever talk to police or law enforcement. All you're doing is participating in an investigation against yourself. So just watch, and you're going to learn a little bit of how not to deal with the Border Patrol. And honesty is never the best policy when you're dealing with a trained liar. Remember, they're trained to lie in order to get you arrested, put the torture cuffs on you, take you to jail, and steal your money. That's their job.
Any alcohol, tobacco in the vehicle?
No.
Any cannabis or goods containing cannabis?
No.
Nothing like that? No gummies, no pens, nothing like that?
No.
No. Alrighty. Any firearms or weapons in the vehicle today?
No.
No. You have any pepper spray, tasers, mace, knives?
No.
You own any firearms back in the States?
I do.
Okay. What do you own?
I own an ARP, a Glock, and a 380.
Okay. And then
You own any weapons back home?
No.
No, never.
No.
How do you get them around?
So I usually have my motorcycle. I have another car. So this car I'm just using right now. So
Okay. So is this your vehicle? Is it registered? Do you have a motorcycle?
I have a motorcycle. Yeah.
And then another vehicle. Give me one moment, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, me too, Mason,
You
but it
carry it on the
wasn't.
motorcycle. ARP is a home gun. You don't take that at the house. So
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have carry conceal in the States?
Yes, I do. I have concealed. Yeah.
Okay. Never been in this vehicle before.
No.
Chance of the ammunition, magazines being in the vehicle?
Not at all.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm just gonna have you pull up to this opening here.
Click here to see what happened.
Any alcohol, tobacco in the vehicle?
No.
All right. So I don't know. Maybe this is like a Canadian border guard or whatever. I'm not really quite sure what's going on here. But are you guys sort of getting the drift of what's going on? So they're trained to ask questions that can lead to an arrest and a conviction because they make tons of money. The prison industrial complex is funded by idiots like this guy who are willing to give up their fundamental unalienable rights by giving answers to a jackboot thug whose job it is to arrest people. And so by him admitting, number one, that he has firearms, that was enough to get him secondaried. And then admitting the type of weapon that he had, the type of ammo that he had, then, well, how do you get it around then? How do you transport your weapons if not but for having this car, right? So just think about it. So why would you ever don't listen to me. Why would you ever participate in an investigation against yourself? All you have to do is say, I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions, but first I need to make sure that my attorney is present. Or simply say, I don't feel that I need to answer those questions. Why are you asking me these questions? What relevance do these questions have to me coming across this border checkpoint? And again, if she's Canadian, that's, I think, basically a communist, fascist country. So you may have to answer those questions. But in America, absolutely not. Our government is bound by the chains of the Constitution. So I don't know about fascist Marxist Canada, but based on her accent, it sounds like she might be Canadian, eh? Don't you know, eh? But yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me. Now, Scrubzilla says it could potentially be entrapment. I'm not sure if it meets the elements of entrapment, Scrubzilla, but I'd like to investigate it further. I'm just trying to get through the show here. So here's one. This is a 5-minute video. And I want you to see how ridiculous this is. This very rare citation that someone gets issued, which I believe is totally unconstitutional, just to see what thugs so many law enforcement officers have become in this country. And I'm hoping we can, with this next administration, hope he puts his money where his mouth is and starts abolishing the bureaucrats in the administrative state. Let's listen to this and you'll see why.
Driver taken on a deputy who he says was driving recklessly, but it did not end right there. As Jason Allen reports, now the man is fighting a ticket that we found to be extremely rare, and the encounter itself is being investigated.
Maybe life under the microscope, yeah.
When Marshall Petrie merged onto Highway 75 near McKinney, he didn't see any signs of traffic,
Thanks, Brett, 'cause of
trouble,
you.
or emergencies, or of a motorcycle coming up behind him.
I check my mirror, go to move over,
because
and
my audience.
right here is when he comes swinging up past me.
Petrie says it was a Collin County deputy who sped ahead of him and then settled into the flow of traffic.
He didn't have his lights on. He didn't have lights, sirens, nothing.
So when Petrie saw the deputy take the next exit, he did too.
It wasn't that I want to follow this guy. It was more of, why is he driving the way he is?
He pulled up to the four-way stop, honked his horn, and started recording.
You got a reason for your speed?
Hey, Brett, check this out. Look at these views. It's blowing my mind. Why don't I have more likes? Check this
Are you
out.
lying to me, sir? What's your name and badge number?
Look at those views for the show.
What's your name and badge number, sir? What's your name and badge number?
If he would have lost control of that motorcycle, if I would have just clipped the front of his vehicle and he had an accident and potentially could have died from it, I would have had to live with that guilt. I don't want to carry that.
As the deputy drove away, Petrie, rattled by what happened, stayed at the intersection. He got out of his truck and talked with a construction worker who had witnessed the exchange, and they were still chatting several minutes later when the deputy came back.
Now
Raihu, good seeing you, brother.
He asked me for is my driver's license.
A bunch of ones for Raihu, guys.
He just wants to see my driver's license. Kind of just asked him, for what? And that's when he said, unnecessary use of a horn. I was using my emergency horn incorrectly. I was trying to get your attention.
Okay.
That's not
is there an emergency? Was there an emergency?
I had a question.
Like and subscribe button.
And I'm trying to get your attention because I'm trying to figure out why you can pass me at 100+ miles an hour.
This mouse not going to go that fast. Okay. All right. But I'm trying to stop cars on the highway.
Trying to stop cars on the highway. You flew past me. I almost killed you.
Flew past him and cut him off.
I almost killed you. I had my turn signal on.
I was trying to stop a car that was on the highway.
No, he wasn't. He's lying.
And you flagged me down and used your horn.
Because I almost killed you because you weaved around me getting on the highway.
That's the inherent risk of being on a motorcycle. Okay?
With no lights, no sirens. I did
No
not
lights,
see
no
you. You were not
sirens.
using your vehicle in the form of an emergency capacity. Is it illegal to use a horn?
Absolutely, sure is.
Is honking your horn illegal? According to state code, a driver, quote, shall use a horn to provide audible warning only when necessary to ensure safe operation.
That's what he was
The
doing.
IT pulled records and found the citation is extremely rare in Texas. The most recent data from DPS showed 3.9 million traffic violations were issued in Texas in 2022. Just 8 of those were for unnecessary use of a horn. The ticket comes with a $189 fine, but that wasn't the worst of it for Petrie.
Did you know at that point you had that unpaid ticket?
I had just found out 2 days prior.
Dallas County had just issued an arrest warrant for a speeding ticket he received over the summer. The deputy arrested Petrie and towed his truck. He spent 16 hours in custody, then paid $600 to get his pickup out of the impound lot, and it all started with a honk of his horn.
He just wanted to come back and make a point, be proven. I mean, he proved it. He got to do what he wanted to do.
So we asked the Collin County Sheriff's Office about the encounter. Spokesperson would only tell us they are in the process of a thorough review. We also requested the body camera video of that deputy and other officers that were there and basic information about the ticket, but the county would not release it, telling the Attorney General's office that would interfere with their investigation and prosecution of the ticket.
I think a lot of people watching are, first of all, stunned, right? Either side of the
even if it's just that I can get a ticket for that?
Exactly.
Right.
And I said to you while we were watching it here together, I'm shocked that there were only 8 citations issued for the improper use of a horn with the amount of
With
road
as
rage
much that
we
happens
see.
on our highways.
So the $1 million question is here. Did he pay the ticket?
Not yet.
Okay.
Had a court date, pleaded not guilty, requested a jury trial. His next court hearing is scheduled for tomorrow morning, and we'll let you know what happens.
So there's a couple ways it can go. I mean, obviously it was an emergency. The officer did not have his emergency lights on at all. And he basically, as a good citizen, was trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this officer. And he's honking at him to give him basically to issue him a warning. Dude, you're driving recklessly. Didn't have his emergency lights on, clearly was not making a stop. He's lying through his teeth right now. And he just decided he would go back and harass this guy and issue him a ticket for honking his horn. And then in the course of that illegal arrest and stop, he found out that there was a warrant. So that is the fruits of a poisonous tree. That is a false arrest. All of that evidence should be thrown out. And if he had a decent lawyer, he would have filed a motion to suppress and got all that evidence thrown out. Now, he should also challenge the case, the law, because on its face, it's vague and ambiguous. And the way it's being applied in a way to harass people as a show of force. It really, it's a BS law. It's kind of like they still have laws in Florida, I think, where you can't chain a crocodile to a fire hydrant. I mean, stuff like that, right? Just weird stuff like that. Or maybe it's an alligator, whatever it is in Florida. So let's see here. Is there anything else? Man, guys, I've got all these other videos and I am pooped, man. I've been on the show now for 2 hours. I really, really appreciate Brett hooking up these new members with the, I really appreciate Brett and other people tonight who stepped up to get memberships. It really means a lot to me. I mean, even $2 means a lot. BZ Watchdog stepping up and throwing me a couple bucks. Even though it's not that much money or whatever, it really helps me support the channel. And because it's not easy, guys, doing these shows. So any support you can give me is appreciated. A really great way for you to support the channel and also get something of value and to learn a little bit about me and my journey and how I ended up getting here before you today. And hopefully you guys are liking my show tonight. We got over 130,000 views, which is crazy. But since we're viewing in vertical, it's not like horizontal where you can see the like button. So I don't get as many likes. So please, when you're on my show, always double tap that screen. And when the show's over, go to the comments, because right now all we have is sidebar comments. So when the show's over, the regular comments bar will be exposed. Please, give a bunch of comments to help push the algo, and go back and press the save button, that little square save button, save it to your favorites. And, listen to me when you're at the gym or when you're cruising your big rig truck down to a different state. A couple hours worth of listening to Team MPE, learning a little bit about the law and having some fun. Most of the stuff, you don't even need to see the video, because most of the stuff is talking and having a good time. But one of the best ways for you to support my channel and my family right now is to pick up the digital version of my ebook, My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. Now, this is the soft cover, which is not for sale. This would probably come to market for around $40 plus shipping and handling. So for $19.99, you can pick up a copy of my digital ebook, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And I've already sold, honestly, guys, thank you so much. I've sold about 200 copies now of my digital ebook, and I love you guys for doing it. And a lot of you guys are buying like 4 or 5 at a time, and you're giving them to your friends and family. And I really do appreciate that. And even if you don't want to buy a book, just donate some money to keep the channel going. Because it's not just me that I have to support, it's my family. And again, I got my wife taking my son to judo. Normally that's my job. But since I've been doing these shows, she's graciously agreed to help me, because emotionally it's important for me, because all I do is work. So having you guys as my friends, like Scrubzilla and Life Under the Microscope, even though we don't see each other that much, she knows that it means a lot to me. So she's helping out. So show your support for my family. Go to my channel and just, you go right here and I'll drop it really quick. I'll drop the link in the sidebar. So take a look. It's at Michael Eline at YouTube. So there's the link for y'all. And then once you get there, you're gonna see my channel here. Here's the video we're doing today, attorney reaction. Then right up here under Michael Eline Injury Attorney, you click more and you scroll down. You'll see my personal blog where I've got a lot of personal stuff. And then the law firm that I work for. If you ever got in a car accident or a truck accident, slip and fall, you need a lawyer. And then right here, link $19.99. You click on that, go to PayPal. You can pick up a copy for $19.99. I encourage you to buy more than one copy if you can afford it. And then I have my Reddit. I encourage all of you guys to add me as a friend on the Reddit page. And if you're an auditor, I have a pretty powerful Reddit page, and I have no problem, if you're an auditor, to share your audit videos. I share PZ Watchdogs videos there, and that helps them get traction. Some of my videos on Reddit pick up like 400 or 500 views just from using Reddit. And then I have my X link, and then my Instagram, which is, it's commie. So pretty much with Reddit, all I do is put up images of them saying, we have found that what you posted goes against our policy because it's misinformation. In other words, anything that's true, because we know that Instagram and Facebook are basically another branch of the Democrat Party, and anything that goes against their political views, they say is false and disinformation, and they try to censor you, like Biden and Kamala were doing, and will do until they're finally thrown out of office. So that's pretty much the show for you guys tonight. I appreciate you showing me some love and supporting my channel. It really means a lot. If there are any members or subscribers who have other videos or things that you'd like me to show, let me know. I may come on tomorrow night. I'm not totally sure. I'm actually getting ready for the Marine Corps birthday. Unfortunately, I missed the Marine Corps ball. I don't have any dress blues, and I didn't have time to get some custom made. All my old stuff no longer fits me because I'm benching about 260 right now. So my old dress blues, I ripped all the shoulders and chest out of them. And so I missed it, but I'm going to be for the Marine Corps birthday coming up in a couple days over at the Leathernecks Bar in Nevada. And that is like our, what do they call that? Where all the Arabs go for their, the Mecca. That's our Mecca in Medina for the Marines. We on the West Coast anyways. and I'll be hanging out with the Marine Riders and the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club. If you guys want to come and take some pictures with me, I don't know if I'm that famous, but just to say you were there. I'm trying to get Chili DeCastro to come join me. He met me and Dick Heller there once. We had a good time. And it's a museum too, so I can show you around. We even have some stuff from the British Royal Marines Commandos. And it's the cheapest place to get alcohol in the desert right now. It's a nonprofit. So, and their hamburgers are off the charts good. And that's the Leathernecks. It's a Marine Corps museum and bar. I'll be there in a couple days if you want to join me. So I may not do a show tomorrow just because I'm prepping for that. But love all you guys, and I really appreciate you supporting my channel. And again, if you can afford it, pick up a copy of my book about my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. And in that book, I do talk about the other states besides California that have similar programs where you can become a lawyer with no law degree, with no undergrad. And more than anything, my book is inspiring because you learn about, my background, where I come from, how I was injured in the Marine Corps, and I wanted to be a lifer, and unfortunately didn't work out. So I became an entrepreneur and became #1 in sales, did sales seminars, and still stayed loyal to the Marine Corps always, and my friends in the Marines. And I have a nonprofit called the Paul Eline Memorial Ride, because my father was also a Marine and he died from cancer, from Agent Orange. So I started a nonprofit to help Marines and other servicemen and service members to raise cancer awareness and to raise funds to look after fallen motorcycle riders, because it was the Leathernecks Motorcycle Club and the Marine Riders who made it possible for me to have a memorial ceremony for my father. So that's the way I give back. I believe in life debts. I don't know if a lot of you guys know what that is, but I'm a person who believes in life debts. So Google that if you don't understand what that is. And when somebody helps me, I feel obligated to be there for them for the rest of their lives. So that's probably another reason why I don't have that many friends, because if you owe too many life debts, you can't really have much to do but pay back your debts, right? So anyways, guys, thank you again for showing up. Make sure to double tap the screen. Come back and comment. Check out my other videos. A lot of members are complaining they're not able to like them or comment on them. The algorithm, for some reason, doesn't like my libertarian, pro-American stance, I guess. The blue-haired mafia that runs YouTube and Google doesn't like me that much. So anything you can do to help me push me up in the algorithm, I'd appreciate. And always make sure to press the save button. Don't just like and subscribe. I mean, hit that like and subscribe button always, but make sure to press the save button. And so with that being said, I'll say it one more time. Thank you, Life Under the Microscope. What's the matter, you? And I think What's the Matter You knows what a life debt is. And Scrubzilla, I am sorry that you lost your mother to cancer. And, I'll say a prayer for you and your family tonight. When I go to bed at night, I always say prayer for my friends. That God will watch over you and your family. And Jeff, thanks for showing. And Ryan Strayhole saying grow up. I'm never going to grow up, brother. It's not going to happen. Wrong guy. Just Willie, thank you for showing. And Ryahoot, Serious Audits, thank you, brother. And Ryahoot, if you want to shoot me some links to some of your videos, join my Reddit channel. And I have a lawyer reaction page where I'll share your stuff and comment on it. James Forbes says, always, thank you, brother. Mama Lion, I'm sorry that you keep getting knocked off the channel with your internet problems. And then Self-Love, love having you here, man. Brothers for Trump, right on, Self-Love. And Forrest Goodwin, thank you. And yes, thank you for appreciating my information. It means a lot to me. That's why I keep coming back, because you guys like my channel. And I just hit this show just hit 144,000 views. I think this show tonight is the highest number of views I've ever had. And I've had some people come and say, oh, you're buying views and this and that. And no, guys, actually I'm not. On my honor as a Marine and as a man who believes in living by a code of honor, I don't pay for views or any of that stuff. I'd shoot in vertical, and for some reason in vertical we get more views because we're tapped into the vertical feed. So we're not in the horizontal live feed. So we get more people that want to watch the videos, the shorts feed. But the problem is because we don't have, you don't have a like thing, you got to double tap the screen, and a lot of people don't know how to like them. So, man, if you guys can like my videos and save them for later and come back and comment where it says comments at the bottom, that would mean a lot to me. But yeah, man, we had a great show tonight, guys, like 145,113 views and counting, which is unbelievable. So, man, I really appreciate you guys showing me this love and buying memberships and super chats and getting copies of my book. It doesn't pay as much as my job as a lawyer does, but if honestly, guys, if I could do this full time, if I could make as much money as I'm making as a lawyer, this is all I would do, because I love you guys and you guys make me happy. So, and again, we're nonpartisan here. So you could be a Republican, you could be a communist, which usually you won't come here because we believe in natural law, but a libertarian, whatever. We don't care. We don't get too political. We don't put each other down. The only thing that I have, the only rule I have here is you treat women with utmost respect, and you don't ever trash talk the ladies on my channel. I am an old school American. Women are the givers of life, and we need to respect them as such. And give me a bunch of ones if you guys understand and agree with me. And then obviously moderators don't time each other out. So once you've been on my channel enough, you'll earn a wrench, and life under the microscope is on his or her way to getting their wrench. But once you're coming around enough, and I know that you're legit and you're part of Team MPE, you'll get your wrench. And Robert Standifer, thank you for saying that. Always record the police because you may never get their video. You're absolutely right. And then Raya Hoot, Scrubzilla, just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Roger Lane, thank you again for coming. And man, there's so many people that are on my channel. I can't thank all of you. Detective Dunk 383, thank you. Westman 78. All right, so it's too many to thank, but just know that I thank all of you, and I really appreciate your support. You're supporting my family, and it touches me greatly that you're here supporting the channel. So again, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. And with that being said, Semper Fi, do or